it was like mind-boggling to me. You seen what I could do, but now since I have an injury, I'm 20 pounds lighter. You just gonna blame me off that, you know? I'm definitely a silver tooth.
At what point when he came in did you realize like, oh, he's gonna change this and make the offense a problem to deal with?
Day one.
How online are you? Because that is a very niche thing to see. And said we out-muted Shay. How did you see that?
Yeah. No, so the skim ad came out and it was Don and Shay.
The cranium is crazy. Oh my god.
I mean, I really don't know what to say.
Crayon eaters rejoice.
As you guys can see, there's somebody missing on this frame right now.
True.
Two-man gaming it today. We don't have Mo here. Well, I guess we do in some way, but we don't have the man here who can speak by the name of Mo. But that's okay, because today is a very special episode. We were just at NBA All-Star Weekend, and we're here now with some stuff to show you guys.
In the Bay.
Yeah, we're in the Bay. We got some stuff to show you guys. As you saw by the intro before this played, we sat down and had a conversation with Darius Garland, someone who you guys know we have been a long time group fan of. We all have been really high in his game, always defending him, going last year when he dealt with the injury stuff. So it's been a real cool moment to be able to talk to him during the whole All-Star Weekend festivities.
We had to tell him to his face, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. If nobody understands, we understand that your jaw was broken. We had to tell him that in person. So no, that was very cool. It was a fun conversation.
We talked about the Cavs stuff this year, the Cavs stuff last year, encore products of both seasons. Mm-hmm. Had to do some TD3 type shit. So there's also the energy you'd come to expect from a regular full-length episode. Nice mix of vibes. Should be fun. And yeah, man, I think we should get people right over to that conversation.
Let's go.
We're here with a very special guest. Someone we've been wanting to talk to for a long time. Someone we've said a lot of good things about over the years. Really cool to have you in person. We're here with NBA All-Star Darius Garland.
Appreciate y'all.
How you doing, man? How's your weekend going?
It's been a long weekend, but it's been fun for sure.
Yeah. We were talking before it started. I'm surprised you guys, we're recording this Sunday, the day of the game. That's crazy. You do media before the All-Star game.
Yeah,
that's insane.
And it's like hours.
Yeah.
Media. It's like pictures, reporters asking questions. So I think I got to be there like 3 hours early before the game today.
You think that's the underrated part of why the discourse on the game is about the intensity level?
That's definitely underrated.
You guys are tired?
Yeah, people really be tired, bro. Like I got in Friday morning, hit the ground running right off the jump. I got in like 10, I had an event at 11, and then I went back home at 3.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so I'm doing that for 3 days straight, bro. I'm tired.
we heard Jaren Jackson Jr. said that he was gonna, pick up guys full court. Can we see? Are we gonna see any of that from you?
Nah, not
You heard him, man.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie.
Have you guys already had the conversation that's with Adam Silver about, we gotta try hard? Or is that before the game starts?
That's probably before the game.
Yeah, he goes in the locker room?
Yeah, he gonna come in. He gonna come in the locker room for sure. He's definitely gonna relay the message for sure.
The last time you were at the All-Star game, did he do that?
Yeah, he came in and told us.
What was that convo like? Did anybody care?
Actually, he was like, you guys go out there and have fun at this 75th anniversary. So that was my first All-Star game was the 75th anniversary. So all the legends came in. So he wasn't pressing it too much, but I know this year he gonna press it because there's so much nonsense.
Well, David Stern impersonation coming tonight.
No, for sure. It's gonna be serious. That meeting definitely gonna be serious.
So right before the show started, dapped each other up, introduced each other. Texas, I'm from Atlanta. I didn't know that you were from Indiana.
Yeah.
What's it like growing up in Indiana?
Well, I'm in Gary, Indiana, so I'm like close to Chicago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I'm like 20, 25 minutes away from Chicago. So it's like I'm in the city for real.
Are you?
Basically.
I've never heard anyone say that.
What level of city are we talking?
basically.
What would you compare Gary, Indiana to?
Oh, I mean, it ain't nothing compared to it. Not at all. But like, let me see.
It's a city though.
It's a great city though.
Shout out Gary, Indiana.
Yeah, shout out Gary, man. Don't drive through though.
Take our word for it.
Yeah.
So outside of that, you're having a great year. The team is having a great year. The vibes are at an all-time high. How are you feeling with this version of the team with Kenny Atkinson? What do you feel like is like the big difference this year for you guys?
Man, just us being on the floor together, to be honest with you. Last couple of years, everybody's been hurt, so we've been in and out of lineups. So this is like our first year actually playing together, like till the All-Star break. Actually, I think last couple of years we probably played 30 games together, all combined, our entire starting five. So shit, my bad.
You can cuss.
You can say whatever.
This show.
Yeah. We've said
Okay,
crazy
say no
things.
more.
Yeah,
Say no more. So yeah, we 53 games in, and we all played at least 50 games so far together. So just having them games under our belt, just having that camaraderie, is just taking us over the top right now.
Yeah. Speaking of being just injured over the last few years, your team, you specifically have been like hammered with just the craziest things.
Yeah.
How was it like dealing with a broken jaw and having to deal with just not eating food, but just drinking?
And on top of that, not just that, but having to deal with nobody in NBA media understanding it. Everybody treated you like that didn't happen.
Right.
Yeah.
That part sucked.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, especially coming off being an all-star a couple years ago. That was just, it was like mind-boggling to me.
Yeah.
Because like you seen what I could do, but now since I have an injury, I'm 20 pounds lighter.
That's crazy.
Being in the second round of the playoffs against the NBA champs, like you just gonna blame me off that, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
So, but yeah, the injury sucked. The injury was trash, bro. I mean, my only motivation was my family, and my alarm clock was Through the Wire by Kanye. So like
I am so glad you said that. Did you try? Did you like rap along with the song, and did the whole thing?
Yeah. So like in the surgery, I'm in a room, and I'm going in. I got the song playing.
Wow.
Can't talk. Can't do anything. We got the video somewhere. I don't know where it's at, but like
I love that.
Yeah, Through the Wire.
That's awesome.
That was my song, bro. That was like my motivation, because I used to really do what he was doing in the song, like drinking Ensures.
What was your favorite blended meal throughout that whole
Blended meal?
process? Yeah.
Was there a silver lining one you're like, this is better than the others?
Oh yeah, for sure. Chili, blended chili was fire.
My God. Blended chili.
I feel like blended chili is just chili. Like, it's not that different.
Exactly.
Really? What was the worst?
The worst was
Because I'm sure you had to like just get something.
What you
it's
got one
crazy.
time and avoided it forever after that?
Nah, for sure. So I got hurt close to Thanksgiving. So my mom made a whole bunch of stuff. So she blended some dressing. That was fire, actually.
Blended dressing. Wow.
The mac and cheese was trash though. Mac and
That's tough.
her mac and cheese be fire.
Yeah.
So like having that blended up and just messing up the whole thing, it was whack.
But off the topic of last year, off the struggle, onto this year where it's real good. I feel like one of the most underrated parts of your game that I think Kenny Atkinson unlocked, I want to know if you think it was him or just something you've always had, your off-ball game. Yeah. I think that's been the most underrated part of you this year, while you're having such a strong year next to Donovan, next to a lot of people in a very like egalitarian offense where everyone touches the ball. The way you, Struce, everybody, I'm assuming your coach this way, just dart to the corner every time you get off ball is insane. You're a 3-point shooting factory as a team. Is that Kenny, or have you always had that?
No, that's Kenny. I like getting to the corners. Sprint to the corners is like, if you on film and you're not sprinting to that corner, you're getting chewed out.
Yeah.
Kenny cursing you out.
Yeah.
Off the
I'm
rip.
glad that's actually a thing he focuses on.
Yeah.
It's not surprising.
No, it's not at all. Like, even Don. Like, if you catch Don, like,
He's moving off ball?
like catch Don in like transition. Just one game. He gonna spread his little. I'm telling you, the little long arms be moving. Bro, I'm telling you.
And do you think, is that something you thought about before this year? Have you always felt like you're good off ball, or has Kenny really brought that out of you?
Yeah, I was good off ball. My third year, my first All-Star year. Coach Bickerstaff, JB Bickerstaff. Shout out him. He's doing a great job at Detroit right now. But yeah, he started putting me off ball a little bit. I was with Ricky Rubio in that time. So Ricky, he had the point. Like, I was letting him rock out. He been running the point since he was 3 years old. Yeah. He was a pro. So yeah, I was letting him rock out with the ball. I'm coming off a lot of down screens, a lot of pin downs. I'm getting a lot of curls, so I'm getting a lot of easy buckets. So I just got used to it like that. Now Kenny just unlocked it like fully now. We watch a lot of film off Steph. He was one of my favorite guys. He's really good off the ball. So yeah, I told him this summer, I was like, I need to be off the ball a little bit more. Like, let Don have the ball a little bit so he can be point of attack, so he can be aggressive just with the ball in his hand. So it's working out pretty well though.
Do you think that like that the chemistry between you and D Mitch has grown throughout this year? And like, because we've heard, like there's been a lot of reporting in the past about, potentially, moving on from either you or D Mitch. And then this year you guys came together, you guys are on a whole different level. How is that process really just like pressure cooked? Like, you guys rose to the top of the Eastern Conference.
Yeah. I mean, there was a lot of pressure when he first got there, of course. Being in like a perennial all-star, MVP candidate type of guy just coming in, you know. And that was like my first all-star year, so it was like a big difference for me. Like I always had the ball in my hand. Now I'm playing with another all-star that has the ball in his hand as well. So it took a lot of communication. It took a couple years, as y'all see.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's cool right now though, bro. It's smooth sailing. We have conversations on and off the floor. We watch film together, so we're learning each other while the season's going on. But it's definitely growing and growing every day.
Yeah, so there was obviously a lot of discourse, like you said, about the fit between you two guys. Obviously similar skill sets. But even more than that, there was a lot of discourse last year between the fit between the two bigs.
Yeah.
Naturally, you see a team that doesn't have a spacer at the 4 or 5. It's
Right.
how can this work? That's something I feel like Kenny Atkinson has figured out in an amazing way. At what point when he came in did you realize like, oh, he's going to change this and make the offense a problem to deal with?
Day one.
They won. What was the change that you really saw that changed it?
He moved Evan from the dunker to the corner to the 3-point line.
Wow.
I love those. I feel like he does a lot of like deep dunker from
Yeah.
the corner that gives him like a just enough head start to cut and get a
Yeah.
good head of steam.
Exactly.
That's
And
a Kenny
he'll
special?
Dunk you. Yeah.
I like it.
But now he's shooting a 3.
Yeah.
The Trey ball is flowing for Evan right now.
He's
So
coming for
it's-
your percentage. He's trying to come for best for the team.
No.
The attempts might not be the same, but the 40 is
No.
there.
That's what I'm saying. The attempts is high though.
We ignore that. We ignore that.
ignore the
And we say,
attempts.
good job, Evan.
Oh, of course. As long as you make it, my brother.
Makes it like
Jay,
way
you shoot
easier.
him. Yeah, you shoot him. You shoot them all.
Next thing I want to do, as you see on the screen here, we have some nonsense that Trey Murphy was looking at.
Yeah.
You're not looking at this. But what I want to do is, I want to show you some NBA baby pictures from teammates you had, and I want you to guess who the player is.
Don.
First off, who is this?
I know that. That's Don for sure.
What screams Donovan Mitchell to that?
The smile?
The smile?
Yeah, it's
Really?
like the
Okay.
like the
Giddy.
yeah.
He got whimsy.
Yeah, that's that.
Happy for no reason.
Mr. Meatoff. Look at Donovan.
Yo, it's crazy. Yo.
Dude, when you acknowledged it the other day,
I ain't acknowledge nothing.
okay, so whenever somebody that looks like you acknowledged it, we have talked a lot about that. In the same way that the Cleveland Cavaliers have been a defining part of the season, the Meatoff has been a defining part of our discourse.
That's what I'm saying, bro. I don't know what's up with that.
Yeah, I don't know. Neither here nor there. But when you acknowledged it, I got 12 people tagging me in that video. 12 people. Apparently,
Yeah.
we are the spokespeople on the show.
Somebody
we,
somebody
you.
said it. Somebody said in the locker room. I was like, what? Yeah.
How online are you? Because that is a very niche thing to see.
Yeah.
That started because somebody quoted the Skims ad and said,
That's
we
what-
out-muted Shay. How did
So-
you see that?
Yeah.
No, so the Skim ad came out and it was Don and Shay.
Yeah.
And there was the tweet with the Skims. So then I seen that Don sent in the group chat.
Oh, Don saw,
He
found it.
saw it first. Okay.
He was bragging. I out-muted Shay.
He started open and fouled. Oh my God.
He could have first team on NBA. I out-muted Shay.
No, it was perfect time because we played. That was the first time we played OKC at home.
Yeah.
So they was like Don and Shade
Yeah,
matchup, you know.
yeah.
And then that other stuff came out. Yeah.
The birth of the Meatoff. There we go.
That's crazy work. This is massive work, bro. Don, I ain't doing this to you, fam.
Oh, but he is. Next player. Whose baby picture is this?
I've
Current and former players. Not all on your team right now. But people you played with before.
okay.
Yeah.
Played
It's
with
not that
before?
hard. Think of the defining white boys of your career.
I have no idea who this white baby is.
There's a lot of like
Damn.
I don't know.
It
I
looks
don't
like a
know.
generic white baby. It's kind
I
of
don't
hard
know.
to
I'm
A
also just
generic
not
white
good
baby is
with
crazy.
babies. I feel like a lot of babies look the same.
Yeah.
that is yeah.
That's very true.
Yeah. There's a few
Especially the
select
pale ones.
guys that you've played with. I
Think
think it's
older.
kind of telling with what he's doing with the ball too.
Oh, okay. Lover. K-Love.
This is Mr. Kevin Love.
Yeah, for
This
sure.
one's kind of hard. It doesn't look that much like him.
Yeah, that doesn't look like K-Love at all.
It is, but it is. Next one.
Crazy.
Next one. Who is this?
The young man himself.
Smooth. That's a devious
You
look
know
to
what
the
I'm saying?
camera, man.
You know
That's
what I'm
intense.
saying? Yeah.
What grade is this? How old were you here?
I was like 5,
Five?
6. Probably younger than that, for real.
How were you as a kid? Were you a behaved kid? Were you a troublemaker?
Yeah, I was pretty cool.
This
I had-
picture makes you look like a silver tooth kid. This angle.
I'm definitely a silver tooth kid. I was definitely a silver tooth kid right here. But no, I had an older brother, so he did all the dirt for me, and I learned from him.
You're the sidekick in the troublemaking. Okay,
Yeah.
I like it.
That's crazy. The silver tooth kid is hilarious.
Hey,
hilarious.
you immediately said that's accurate. So
Yeah,
I
I
like
was
it.
definitely one. Had hella caps.
You mentioned earlier in the off-ball talk that you've been modeling your game after Steph a lot. Who do you model your game after on ball?
On ball, Kai.
Kai, interesting.
Yeah.
I would have thought, there's a lot of comparisons. Everyone talks about player comps. You
Yeah.
get a lot of like young Steve Nash or just new redux of these passers.
Yeah,
but you're
yeah.
going after like the bucket getter is the guy you boldly
I
came
mean,
after.
I can do both. I like doing both. I like passing though more than scoring, to be honest with you. But it's whatever though. I can do both.
Yeah.
Why is that? Is there something about passing and assisting that just feels better than scoring? Or does it
Like-
feel better than scoring?
I mean, it doesn't feel better than scoring, you know. But like, I like seeing my teammates win. I like seeing everybody win on my team. Like, I don't know. I can make a dope pass. And if you miss it, like, I'm gonna be hot. But like, I can make a bucket anytime I want to. It feels like.
What's it feel like? This team, obviously, you guys are top of the Eastern Conference right now. What's your confidence level in the team compared to last year? Are you feeling like going into the second half of the season, you guys are feeling as good as you've ever felt with the score?
Yeah, for sure, 1,000%. I think this is probably the best we felt in a long time. I mean, you see how it is out there.
Yeah.
You know, it's
The wins are on the board.
Yeah,
We
it's
can
fun
see.
out there. We all having fun. Everybody's touching the ball. Everybody feels a part of it. So, I mean, it's a good start so far.
Before this pod, did all the research I could, obviously. I was doing my research on you and your people, specifically your family.
Yeah.
I had no idea your dad was in the league, and that's like the most under talked about thing. What influences your dad had in your life when it comes to watching you grow up as a legit? Like,
Yeah. Everything, bro, to be honest with you. He's the reason why I'm playing basketball. It's the reason why I'm here. Literally. So no, yeah, he's super influential for my life. I represented him yesterday in the 3-point
Yeah, I saw
contest
that.
too, which
That was
was
awesome.
super cool.
yeah. What were the hardest drills that he had you doing when you were younger?
Man. So one of my favorites was, so like he'd just throw the ball out and my back would be turned towards him.
Yeah.
So he'd throw the ball out. So if I hear one bounce, like I have to go get it,
Oh, wow.
go do like a different move or something into like a pull up or a layup.
That
or
explains
something.
the shiftiness.
That explains the shiftiness. Another one was like change of pace or like shiftiness drill. Like
Yeah.
he'll clap every time. Like I have to go fast, he'll clap so I can change speed, so I go slow. Then he'd clap again, I go fast. Then clap again, I go slow into like a different move. So like just working on like different shiftiness and different changes of paces. So that's why I'm so shifty for real.
Shout out to shiftiness.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you have an NBA rival? Any like guy maybe in your draft class, somebody that you have a special connection to from that process that you really held on to this day?
I mean, I got people on my list, yeah.
On your list?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Like you
mark the
circle,
calendar?
Yeah. I say you circle those matchups.
Yeah.
So it's not even, it's the team itself. It's not really like a matchup. Like,
Who are some of your favorite teams to go against?
of course, Boston.
Yeah.
I like playing Philly because me and Reese, we boys. OKC now, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
OKC lit right now.
Yeah. Both of y'all the face of the league. Yeah.
Facts. And it's two small market teams too.
Yeah.
So which makes it a lot better. That's probably the 2, 3. Boston, Philly, and OKC.
We had a couple more minutes left with you before you got to get you out of here. You guys have had really strong city jerseys over the recent years. I feel
Yeah.
like there's a lot of them that get clowned on. You guys have a crazy good team.
Facts.
So on that topic, I want to show you 2 NBA jerseys, one old, one new. You let me know which one's better.
Bet.
They're all Cavs related. First off, we got the LeBron jersey versus this year's City jersey. Two incredibly strong
This
jerseys.
is a tough
I'm about to
matchup.
say that's tough.
This is a tough
I
matchup.
love this blue one you guys
That
have.
baby blue got me.
That baby blue is hard.
It's tough.
And the court with it
Facts.
brings it together.
Do you guys get to choose what jerseys you wear win, or no?
Or the team.
Or the team does?
Yeah.
No?
We didn't do nothing, bro. If we had a choice, we'd be wearing these a lot more. For
Yeah.
sure.
Really? Okay.
The LeBron one is also a classic though.
But is it a classic because it's like LeBron
Bron-
wearing it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or is it the jersey itself?
Listen, you got to count for aura points. It's part
The
of the
aura
equation.
is crazy.
Yeah. You're right.
I'm gonna go with the land joints.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
I'd
Go with
agree
the
with
land
that.
The baby blue is nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm willing to go to put the nostalgia aside. The new one is nicer, I think.
for
Yeah,
sure.
I agree.
And
Next
nobody's done that before. Nobody went baby blue before.
Never.
I don't think so.
No, I don't. Yeah,
check the
full
record
time. I
books,
don't
but
get
maybe
it.
never.
I'm not sure.
They ain't doing it like y'all.
And now
That's
we.
the case.
That's what I'm saying. Now we look what we started.
Trent
Look at
said
that
it.
trendsetter. You guys invented
Look what we
baby
started.
blue.
You guys-
man.
that's
That's all
all
we
you.
started.
What about this 1990s jersey versus this year's white one?
I go 1990.
Really,
I go to old school joints.
this white one's my favorite of your guys' base jerseys for sure.
Really?
Yeah, I can't lie. I love this one. I kind of hate the black one with the giant
Oh
C.
my gosh.
With the
I was about to
giant
say,
C.
what about the black ones?
I like black jerseys.
Is
The
that your
big C
favorite?
doesn't work for me, just alone.
Is that your favorite?
Oh my
yeah,
god.
low key. Yeah, I had to get him back.
Yeah.
He been wilding over here.
Okay, we're going with the 90s.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the 90s joint.
Okay.
I'm just right.
Yeah.
Last one, the black 90s one or the ransom letter city jersey.
The black ones.
I love the black ones
The black
too.
ones is cold.
Yeah, I've been outvoted on this
The black
entire
ones
show.
is
the
super
entire
cold.
So
time.
you like
Yeah.
the ransom note text that works for you?
I do, yeah. The random joints, it was fire. And like the theme, like the backstory of the black jerseys was,
What is it?
it's like the
It's the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, I
Hall of
think.
Fame.
Oh,
And my first time being there, I had a photo shoot, and like actually being in there was super dope. So like I love the concept of like
okay.
I don't
Yeah.
know. It was
Yeah.
it was crazy. Yeah, it was
It's
dope.
Lord, it's very sentimental. for
Yeah,
you.
it's pretty
Okay.
sentimental. And
Got
we had
you.
the photo shoot with the new jerseys in there. It was fire. It was cold.
Makes
Look
sense.
at that. New wins 2 out of 3. We're not nostalgia. We're not
Yeah,
nostalgia
man.
merchants over here. We're with the new school.
Yeah, new school.
That being said, that's all the time I got with you today, man. I got to keep it moving.
Appreciate it.
Busy
Appreciate
All Star
it.
Day. We appreciate you coming
Thanks.
through.
Of course. Appreciate you having me, man. Y'all be smooth.
But wait, there's more!
We're here by a very special guest. One of the, I think, most exciting young players, I think we still call you that, in the NBA this season.
Yeah.
We're here with Trey Murphy. How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. Appreciate y'all having me.
You having a good weekend, all the All-Star festivities and everything?
Yeah, I'm having a great time. I can't lie.
I've seen you on my TV nonstop. How are you enjoying doing the media stuff you've been getting into?
I mean, this is what I want to do post career. So, just prepping a resume, in all honesty. So,
The resume is deep. I'm not gonna lie. When it comes to seeing young players and how often they are making these appearances, you're like number one on my draft prospect board when it comes to future analysts or podcaster or some type of media personality in the future.
I really appreciate that, man. Thank you. Thank you.
How cool, how do you like? It's so interesting that these days with the new media landscape that you can do that, like set up the next career in the middle of your actual career instead of after. Do you feel like that's something that more players should do?
Yeah, I think you should always just try to get your feet wet and try to figure out what you want to do. It's almost like college. Like those first few years, you don't really know what you want to do, like major wise. So you want to make sure that you're putting your best foot forward if that's what you want to do first.
Did you decide like kind of early that you already knew like, okay, I'm gonna play basketball and afterwards I want to do like the media stuff right after?
Nah, I just knew I like to talk. That's really,
Hall of Fame, yeah, bro. I see it.
Okay, that's it. I just like to talk, and people like to listen. So I think that's when I fell into it.
Gotcha.
Was there a certain like podcast appearance or something that you did and it clicked for you? You're like, oh, people like this yap.
Probably JJ's podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did JJ's podcast for the first time. I think that was after my first year. I think it was during my summer going into my second year. So
Yeah. Oh, outside of the media stuff, you're having a real interesting year because I feel like it's safe to say over the last like 25 games, you're starting to show, I don't get ahead of myself, making the leap. We're starting to see you doing more stuff with the ball in your hands, averaging 25 for extended periods of time. There's a silver lining to a season that's not going super well for the team. You're really making those improvements to your game and really showing what it's going to look like next year when everybody's whole and the team is healthy. What do you feel like is the biggest difference for you this year that's really allowed you to make that type of leap?
I mean, the glaring one is just opportunity.
Yeah, naturally.
That's the biggest reason why. But also too, like my aggression has been a lot more. It's been a lot more different. Like I've been having a different mindset. I was just going in every game like, all right, I'm gonna make sure that I'm gonna be attacking offensively, trying to make the right play, and also trying to score. And summer work also helps a lot too.
How do you deal with the task of just like, okay, you and your squad is having all this offseason work, all this training and prep, and you mentioned the opportunity. How do you guys deal with like your team just being like absolutely nuked from the get-go and just like having the most unfortunate luck that we've seen in a long time?
Yeah, no, it's tough, but I mean, that's almost been my whole 4 years in New Orleans, if I'm being honest. So I think it's just the most extreme case. But I mean, we just try to stay resilient, and it's basketball at the end of the day. Like, we're going to figure it out. It's not like we're scientists trying to build something. Like, we're,
Sure, you're not
we're
on
just trying to put a ball in a hole. That's all, man.
Good problems to have.
Yeah, that's it.
You mentioned that offseason work really paying off. I feel like obviously you're improving all your skill sets year by year. I feel like this year your handle has been the biggest thing that you've seen a big jump on.
Yeah.
Is that something that you really focus on? Because I feel like we're seeing you get better navigating screens, get better generating deep paint touches, and not picking your dribble too soon. What type of specific handle stuff are you focusing on in the summer?
I mean, really just reading defenses. Like me and my trainer, we don't. It's not like I'm working on like a bunch of different combos and stuff like that. It's literally just like playing out of hesitations, using my shot as a weapon, and then just going from there. It's not too tricky. I might do a lot more stuff in the game sometimes, and I just black out.
Yeah, you love that behind the back to reject the screen.
I promise you, I don't even think to do it. It just happens.
Every time I see you go right, reject the screen, back to the left.
Nah, trust me. I was like, man, it's like some good defenders again. Shook off this one too. So
what do you think is the biggest difference from you now versus the second year Trey Murphy?
Definitely the confidence and putting the ball on the floor, and also just feeling stronger, and then knowing what defenses are trying to give up. All that stuff. I mean, experience is the best teacher, and I think that's helping the most right now. Get game reps.
What are some of those like experiences that you think back on? Like, did you have moments in your previous seasons where a certain play happened, didn't really go your way, and it's like, okay, I need to fix this?
Absolutely. Sure, we can talk about this season. When probably my second game back, we played OKC in OKC, and.
Oh god,
Yeah,
he's getting PTSD.
Yeah,
you saw Lou Dort, Case and Wallace coming for that ball.
Yeah, I can't lie. They're the most handsy team I've ever played against, and so I wasn't as confident in my handling. So I was struggling at that game, like I really was, and so I just had to make adjustments, keep working on my game, and just build that confidence.
How different are they from every other team in that way? Where you start the game, I'm assuming that game they put Lou Dort on you. He goes out, Case and Wallace, Alex Caruso, Shea, J-Dub. That's the most. I don't know if I've ever seen a better collection of the passing lane, just disruptive ball handlers.
They're not.
Does it stand out like that much from everybody else?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's different.
Yeah. Nah, they have no weak defenders on their team. So really it's just like the biggest thing that I would recognize, like the second time we played them in OKC is like, it's not the first offender, it's the rest of the help guys.
Damn.
And it's not like two of them. A lot of times they send in three. So like, if you saw like the beginning of that game, I was passing a lot because like I would get past the first guy and they all converge, and it's like, well, I can't take this shot.
Yeah,
like
I just remembered. I forgot. We're triggering a little bit of PTSD here, a little bit of sore memories. I forgot that was the playoffs last year. My bad.
I mean, you didn't have to bring that up either.
Yeah,
But,
I forgot it's a sore spot. Sorry. Speaking of last year a little bit, I feel like one of the most underrated things about your guys' team last season when you were whole, you guys had a top 10 defense on the year, despite being anchored by bigs who aren't known to be rim protectors, which is normally, how you build an elite defense. What do you feel like was so special about that defense? What Willie Green did with the length and the perimeter defenders you guys had that really made your defense so good last year?
Herb Jones.
There, good answer. Good answer. First team all D. Good answer.
Wow.
So do you have often like one-on-one battles in practice? Oh my God, your practices must be insane because you got Z, Herb, CJ, who's shifty as can be. You must be in the blender all the time.
Our practices are very competitive, I'll say that. But the thing is though, like Herb for the first time didn't guard me until like my second year, because first year in practice, like I was probably like second or third option on the second team, and so he would probably guard the best option on the second team. And then once we came back and we started like working out and having to be there because you're a rookie and all that stuff, that's when we started playing open gym. And I was like, damn, I understand why people don't be scoring on him. This is hard.
Yeah.
What about it is hard though? Like, what makes him different?
Because he's a really physical defender, but he's also like tall and lanky. So a lot of times, like if you're a physical defender that's tall, lanky, agile, you just don't have that combination. There's probably only one other person I can think of that has a combination of size, athleticism, strength, quickness, all that stuff.
Was that like a point of confidence boosting for you, where now you're in practice and you're like, okay, Herbert's guarding me, like I really am like, on like I'm leveling up?
What's funny is we talked about this kind of recently, and he was saying that he realized like I was gonna be like around this area during that time, and I realized that he's like a really all-world defender at that time too. So there was definitely a few plays where I got him like with the behind the back. I don't know why I be spamming it, but look, I don't think it's on a scout report that I'm just gonna do that every time now. So,
I promise you, if we see it, I know everyone else can see it too.
that's cool. They can see it.
They ain't gonna stop it.
Exactly, they can see it.
Speaking, so you said Herb's trying to realize like, oh, he's making this leap. We also had the comment in the media the other day after Ingram was traded where Zion said, me and Trey are the leaders of this team now. What does that look like to feel like you're becoming one of the guys on the team? And because you still have other vets on the team besides you and Zion. So that to me sounds like a big vote of confidence.
To an extent, I feel like for me, I've always been like a vocal guy, and I've always said my piece on what I feel like needs to be said for the team. Is there more of a leadership role, like just from the outside looking in? Yes, but I don't feel like much has changed really. Like I've been the same type of leader that I've been from probably second year. I'm not gonna say day one.
No, not day one.
Not
You're
day
a little
one.
timid at first.
Yeah.
Naturally.
How do you like harness those like leadership skills? What like events that happened back before the NBA? Like what have you gone through to like learn those skill sets? Like I know you worked at Chick-fil-A back in the day. Did that go ahead and help you? Yeah, did that go ahead and help you like harness up and know how to manage
My pleasure.
people?
How many times you said my pleasure?
Man, I worked there for 3 weeks. That don't even count.
That's at least 3,000 my pleasures. in those 3
Yeah,
weeks.
it was a lot. And my Chick-fil-A experience was a lot, but we don't have to bring that back up. But leadership stuff, that came because in high school I was the best player on my team, so I had to be a leader. At Rice, I was the top 3 player on my team. And then I would say at Virginia, playing under Tony Bennett, that's what he preaches. And he's very like you're nobody's above the culture. And you're going to make sure that you're going to, add to it and not take away from it. So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so we talked about it. You're a podcaster now. You're working in the media.
Does that hurt?
I want to play that's unrelated. That's not for you. That's for Darius Garland after this.
Oh, okay.
That's Donovan Mitchell, by the way. It's a baby.
Really looks like her.
A little peek behind the curtain. I'm going to show you some NBA teams' faces combined.
All right.
I want you to identify which team it is.
Okay.
So, see how much you know the league around you.
We haven't seen these either, so
It's a shock to us too.
yeah.
It'll be great. Team 1. Which team is this?
Spurs.
I forgot to crop out the jersey. Goddamn.
Yeah,
Wow.
that don't help, right?
This looks like a real person though.
Break it down though. Whose hair, whose eyes, whose nose?
Yo, before the
Hair.
Spurs.
Hair stuff.
Okay.
Body, I'm going to say Wemby.
Yeah, that one was an easy giveaway.
Yeah.
Whose mouth is that though?
Wow.
Listen, it's a real question.
De'Aaron Fox.
We got De'Aaron Fox's eyes.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that Harrison Barnes then?
We got Chris Paul's face, Sohan's ears, Vassell's hair, and
so
Wemby's lower half.
That's a lot, bro.
It's a lot
This
going
looks like
on.
a real person.
That's a lot.
It's
Like,
like,
if I was
it's
to,
like
like-
6 people.
If I was to like quickly look, I'd be like, oh, like that's
Like, you
Tyler
feel
Lewis
like
Jr.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
my dog too.
Yeah, I'm like quick look like, oh,
I kind of
that's
see Justin Holiday a little bit.
Now that one that's actually decent right there. That's actually decent.
Okay, you asked a question. I'm going to crop out jerseys to the other one real quick.
okay, cool.
Over the second half of this season, what are some of your personal goals for things that you either want to like improve on or start getting into a rhythm going into next year and into the off season?
Continue to build habits. That's really it. I don't really have too many like expectations. Like it's been the same like goal setting from the beginning of the year. Attack each game, get better, find ways to win, build habits. Like obviously we haven't gotten a lot of wins for the season, but you still want to build those habits in order to lead into next year, build for the future.
And how do you like you said, and we've touched on it. Obviously, like this season hasn't gone exactly the way that you want. How do you go into the gym every single day and continue to keep that like positive energy, keep moving forward, keep trying to build those habits?
Playing basketball, man. That's it. Like, I just love basketball. Like I put a ball in a hoop and I'm able to feed my family just based off of that. So
Gotcha.
there's nothing to be.
Back to the bullshit. I got the jerseys cropped out.
All right, sweet.
Which team is this?
Oh my God.
I think I have a guess.
I don't know if I have this.
I think
It's
I
the
have a
Raptors.
guess.
What gives it away to you?
Jakob Pertl's hair.
Oh, you're a knower. What?
That's recognizable, all right?
Yeah, right. Jakob's hair.
I mean,
Okay.
Jakob's hair stands out because the rest of the guy's face is black, and then you have some white hair.
Yeah, so, I mean, that could be another reason why.
What, so Jakob has the only white hairline in the league?
Nah, but I know I'm not gonna say anything about Jakob's hair, bro. But is the lower half Scotty?
Yeah, we got the mouth of Scotty. And we got
Okay.
the chin of RJ Barrett. I'm
eyes are
surprised
those, though?
you didn't recognize the eyes immediately.
No, that's BI.
That's
Yeah,
BI.
That's my dog, man.
I thought that would give it away.
See, you try to say something right now. You try to say something.
What's understood need not be said. Last team. Which team is this?
Oh my God.
No, that's us.
What gave it away?
Herb's eyes.
So not yourself. You went straight to Herb's eyes.
Nah, Herb's eyes for sure. All right, I'm gonna break this one down for you.
Okay.
Herb's eyes, DeJounte's cut.
Okay.
Hairline's crispy, you know, a mile away.
Yeah, nah, he keep a fresh cut.
crazy.
I will say that. That's my earrings over there, so I ain't gonna say it. I guess that's my from nose or mouth, whatever.
Okay.
Mouth.
That's Zion's beard.
Zion's beard looks hilarious on you,
You
bro.
look Amish.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like Velcro just.
If you squint a little bit, you can kind of see Paul George in this. If you squint a little bit.
Yeah, nah, I don't see
Maybe
that
like
one.
45-year-old
That's what I'm
Paul
saying.
George.
That's what I'm saying.
It's not
You
that
got to
crazy.
squint really, really hard.
crazy.
Yeah.
You're just saying that because he got a nice cut. That's really
That might be it. It might just be the hairline. It might just be the hairline.
yeah. And then
How often does DeJounte get haircuts? Is it crispy all the time?
like probably every 3 days or something like that.
3 days.
You do too?
Nah, mine's like every other week.
Oh, okay.
Okay, it's
Yeah.
normal.
Yeah, nah. I actually wore a headband this year and played poo poo, but it was because like we played on Wednesday and I was leaving Thursday after the game for All Star, and I was like, bro, I'm not gonna get a cut before. I gotta make sure I wait till the last minute to get my cut so it's fresh.
Yeah, smart man.
Is that inside? Is that some inside baseball? Is that why a lot of guys wear headbands because they don't have fresh cuts?
I mean, have you seen some of the guys take their headbands off? Like,
I also love how like down to earth that is. That's hilarious. You can afford to get a haircut once a week. But you're like, nah, every 2 weeks. I got it.
nah, it's like I just want to let it breathe sometimes.
Yeah.
Man. I like wearing hats, so you know if I got a fresh cut, I'm not wearing a hat. I don't need my Beijing wearing off. So
Gotcha.
That's okay. Next thing I want to do, I'm gonna leave that picture on the whole time. You can just keep thinking about it.
yeah, please no.
Let's play a little game. We do this on our channel a lot called Keep 3, Cut 3. We're gonna do it with NBA legends. It sounds like how it sounds. I'm gonna name 6 players. You pick 3. They're gonna be kept. 3. They're gonna be cut.
All right, man.
So all NBA legends. Keep 3, cut 3. First name Paul Pierce.
Something I will say is that I've been a part of his team so many times, and now I'm working with you. Do not sell me. My record is horrendous.
Yeah.
They're really bad at this game. They make terrible lists every time.
All right. We'll say cut. I want to see what the rest of the list looks
Okay.
like.
Yeah,
this
this
is a
fine.
good litmus for
They're
sure.
all Hall of Famers, so it's a good place to start. Charles Barkley.
Keeping him.
You got to keep Charles Barkley.
It's top 25 player of all time.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
not too
Probably
many.
gotta keep-
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Paul George. Is he closer to Paul Pierce or closer to Charles Barkley? Which list side are we going on?
He's probably closer to Paul Pierce than Charles Barkley.
I'll probably say so too. I'll
Yeah.
probably say cut as well.
Yeah.
He's like right on the line. That was
He's
tough.
right on the line. It's tough for him.
Cut Paul George.
Options are still open right now.
Kawhi Leonard.
Keep.
Easy.
Keep.
Easy
Yeah.
as keep.
If Paul George is on the line, Kawhi scoots up that line a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, keep. No disrespect to Paul George, but like
Yeah.
Kawhi, like the run he had in Toronto is
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
it's historic.
Yeah, nah, there's nothing
One of
else.
the best playoff peaks we've seen in a
Not
long
much
time.
you can really say with that one.
Yeah. Kobe Bryant.
Keep.
No
I
words.
about to say,
Keep
I
in
dare
mind.
y'all to say something.
Keep in mind, you have 2. You only have 1 spot left on each side.
We not arguing
It is-
Kobe.
yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So, last name. You have to cut him now.
Whatever happens, so be it.
Wait. This is one last name. He likes to troll. You don't know this guy
all right.
like I know him.
I don't care. I can't lie. I'm keeping Kobe.
You got to keep Kobe.
Last name. LeBron James.
I mean, see, like you did that on purpose.
That's what I'm saying. You try to set him up.
Yeah, like you did that on
Oh,
purpose.
but you could have just like cut Barkley or something. I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
You're not cutting the top 25 players.
Yeah, you cut a top 2 player. I don't know what to say.
I mean, blind ranking, it is what it is. That's fine. But I'm not cutting Kobe. I'm standing on my decision. So
Fair enough. Outside of the shenanigans, you know, we talked earlier about you really making a big leap this season and really the trajectory is going where it should. Is there any tip you found over recent years from a former player or current player teammate you have that you feel like made a big difference in your game? Any like, moment
Yeah,
from
or
somebody?
maybe even a trainer, just like something like specific about certain angles or whatnot.
Something that unlocked your game? I know it's hard to pinpoint one specific thing.
Yeah.
yeah, it's hard to say one specific thing that made me say like, oh, like I just like figured something out. But I was talking to UD probably like before my summer going into my 3rd year. And the biggest thing that he said that helped him stay around for like a while is just being consistent and like keeping the same habits. Like the biggest thing that people, you know, lose out on as they go on in their NBA careers, they just don't stick with their habits, they don't stick with their routine. And that's when you see them phase out of the league. If you stay consistent each day, if you just move the penny one inch that way, like you're gonna get closer and closer to the bank. So just gotta
Okay.
keep. Yeah, I just came up with that one in my head too.
Oh, okay.
So,
I was gonna credit UD, but credit.
Yeah,
Shout
yeah.
I
out
was
you.
gonna say that's a bar.
Shout out moving pennies.
Yeah.
so like that's how I feel like it's just like little daily deposits. So just been staying consistent with my work.
What is your daily routine look like? Like from wake up to game day, what does that look like for you?
It's not super specific, but I will say like, so game days, I'm probably gonna shoot a little bit before shoot around, shoot after shoot around, go back, take a nap, play video games for a little bit, and then I get to the court pretty early. Like I warm up with 99 on the clock. Like my clock doesn't move. Like if people don't understand, like there's a game clock for when the game starts, and it starts at 99, and then it'll go all the way down to 0. Like my game clock doesn't move, so I'm there 2 hours before. Like I work out 2 hours before the game because it's just what I've built in a routine. And so practice days, I'm working out before practice, getting shots up after practice, and off days I kind of take my off days really seriously. Like I try not to do anything because there's so much going on. Like during the season, you really gotta take your time off.
It seems like you're really tapped into just like you're young, you're tapped into the online community somewhat. What do you usually do during your off days? Are you watching other podcasts? Do you like just doom scroll on TikTok? What are you up to?
What kind of media do you consume?
Yeah.
TikTok.
You got brain rot?
Yeah, it's bad. Nah, it's really bad. I can't lie. Like I can hear a sound and I just already know exactly what the video is gonna pop up.
Okay, so you're online so much. What are like the top annoying things that you hear from NBA fans that just like irritates your soul?
That's a good one. There's some dumb discourse out
You
there.
have said out loud so many times that you are like a hater at heart. Is that true?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for sure.
But is there any hate that goes too far that you feel like is dumb?
Yeah.
No, not really. I mean,
You condone it?
I like seeing people reach new levels, in all honesty. Like, the betting stuff, that's where it gets real like hilarious to me because like I'll respond back to people.
Oh,
like,
you do?
Yeah, they'll DM me something crazy. I'll respond back to them. Like I don't really care. I would show one, but it's like it's not
This
good.
is a safe space.
Yeah. Well, okay, I'll tell you this. Don't you know that famous Dex video where he talked about somebody being mad? Yeah, so somebody sent a very long message and I just sent the video of the famous Dex.
That's so ironic. Before this started, I Googled your name on Twitter just to see if there's any like stats or something I missed of late. First thing I see is the first day I bet on Trey Murphy after this hot streak, he fucking sells me 4 for 16 from the field.
Hey, bro. You'll be all right.
You should have bet 2 games ago.
Yeah.
Tough.
Hey, man. I ain't losing no sleep over that, bro.
It's such a like modern phenomenon to deal with, like with how insane sports betting is these days. Like previous generations didn't have to deal with that. That's such a uniquely your generation thing.
Man, I feel like a lot of people wouldn't know how to deal with that if they played basketball during this era. Like, bro, my rookie year, I'm playing a preseason game, and I like dunked the ball at the end or whatever. I don't know if that messed up like the spread or like the over-under, whatever. And the dude he like DM me, he was like, oh, like you suck, like I hate you, blah, blah, this and that, third. Why would you dunk? Didn't mean anything. I responded back, I said, bro, if you're betting preseason games, call the hotline.
100%. I was just about to say
somewhere. You're insane.
Call the hotline. Like, something wrong with you, bro.
Yo, preseason is ridiculous.
Like,
Oh
you
my
don't even know
God.
how much minutes people are playing. Like, it's no.
It's disgusting.
I didn't know it was that deep for people, man.
Nasty work.
Oh, it gets deeper. It gets deeper.
Man.
Who's the
I didn't even catch that.
My bad, bro.
we got depth. Who's the funniest player on your team right now? I better not hear you. I need a different answer.
No, I wasn't gonna say me. Javonte Green.
Okay.
Javonte Green's the funniest player on our team. It was Najee. Najee was he's top 3 funny in my entire like life.
Really?
What makes him so funny?
Bro, because he doesn't try. It's like he's not trying to. He's literally like being himself.
Yeah.
And you're just like laughing. And he's serious. And he'll get mad about you laughing and him being serious.
What are you thinking of when you think about that in a specific circumstance? Well, you can say, I mean, you can say a lot on this show. We say some bullshit.
for
but-
sure. I'm just trying to make sure he don't get mad. But okay, so I'll talk about the recent one. When we played against the Mavs at home, I had blocked Spencer Dinwiddie's shot. Clear goaltending.
Yeah.
They did not call it. It was he called me directly after the game and said, he's just not an honorable person.
That serious?
What do you want you to do?
He said if he was real, you'd have been like that commercial and be like, Coach, I touched the ball. I was like,
And he was dead serious.
he's not dead serious, but like he said it in the most serious tone though. And I'm like, I said, Naj, we have 7 wins. You know what I mean? You have to kiss my ass. not happening.
I can totally imagine him looking in the eyes. I lost respect for you today.
Yeah, no. Even you know what? There's another one too. I don't even mean to go on a tangent, but there's this Twitter page that keeps tracks of all the records, like of the Pelicans. They'll tweet it out. They tweeted out that I passed Najee in fouls.
Oh wow.
It's my he gonna quote tweet it all caps, yes, with 7 S's on there. And I'm like, bro, you know you fouled more than me. He gonna say the data says otherwise. I'm like, bro, there's something wrong with you. Like, there's something wrong with you.
Incorrect.
Yeah.
Is there any is Zion Williamson funny behind the scenes?
Bro, he's a lot more different than people give him credit for.
Yeah, what is he like? Because I feel like there's a lot of
Right, he's just like us.
Yeah.
Like he's just like us. Like he is a kid. Like he's a kid at heart. Like he'll joke around. He's a part of the group chat. Like all that stuff.
How have you liked his fashion progression over the years?
It's getting there.
What's it like in the locker room? Because obviously friends are like always jeering each other. Is there any? You're not even just with Zion specifically, but like in the locker room. Do you guys,
Everybody, nah. If it's a bad
You
fit,
guys took each
telling
other?
you. Absolutely. Ask Dyson Daniels. He came in with one of the worst fits I've ever seen in my entire life in Detroit. This is my second year. I remember this vividly, and I said, "Bro, you can't ever put that on." Again. Like he literally was in the closet, dark, and just
Like threw his clothes up in there and just ran under him.
Yeah, just pick something because it was the worst fit I seen.
Shout out
That's
Dyson
Steve-O.
Daniels.
Yeah.
Who is the, in your opinion, who has the best fashion on the team? Outside of you.
Damn, he said no one could compete with me.
Nobody.
I want to be fair. So I'm not gonna say one specific person, but Jose is up there.
Makes sense.
And then I'm not mad at Bruce Brown's cowboy swag, bro.
Oh, okay.
From time to time, it's different. It's a little change of pace as him. I feel like wearing clothes has to be like your armor. So like whatever makes you feel most comfortable, wear it.
I forgot you guys have Bruce Brown. What's your first impression of him and Kelly in the locker room in the few days you've been around them?
Goofy.
Goofy, both of them?
Yeah, they add to the locker room. Add to the locker room for sure. I didn't know Kelly was like Kelly seems like a goofy person, but like you don't know exactly how it works well. But like he fits in right with us.
Yeah. I'm so excited to see Kelly with you guys just because
too.
for
Trust me,
years,
I am
I'm
too.
sure you guys have heard it. I'm sure you guys probably feel the same way. I need to see Zion Williamson with a stretch 5 for like at least 5 minutes a game. Let me see it. Are you guys excited to see that with Kelly Olynyk?
Yeah, no, absolutely. He shoots the cover off the ball.
Yeah.
And he can really pass too. I think that's a really underrated part of his game. And having a big that can pass it opens up your offense so much.
It's great.
So we're at All-Star Weekend. Consistently, I feel like these conversations have heightened over time. Everyone's been trying to put in their 2 cents. Oh, the NBA ratings are down. Blah, blah, blah. This is why. We need to make such and such sense to the league.
Nico said, I got you. Don't worry. Nico said, I got you. These ratings should go up.
What was your reaction to that trade when it happened? Where were you? Do you remember the moment when you found out?
I was in my room. Packing my bag for a 9-day road trip. I said, I guess hey man, anybody can get traded.
Yeah.
Like it took me back a little bit. I had to stop packing. I had to think about everything. I was like, man, like it don't matter who you are. Like you could really be gone the next day.
Did you think that the trade was fake
Yeah.
when you first saw it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. They sent in my video game group chat, and I'm just like, all right, here go the homies trolling again. Like,
They got sentled.
and then for real, and then I see the Shams thing and it says 100% real. I'm like, all right, so who took Shams home? Like, I still was like, ain't no way this trade happened, but nah, it wouldn't happen. I actually called Najee too.
Wow.
And he has some funny stuff to say
I'm
about that,
sure.
but I'm not gonna repeat as much as what he said.
Whenever you finally had time to sit down, process it, get your own thoughts in line, were you just like, damn, the Lakers get everything? It's ridiculous. Like, I heard, who was it on the broadcast? The Jazz front office guy. What is the GM's name?
Yeah.
I forget. Well, he was saying a lot of our peers around the league, when we talk amongst the GMs, say they were blessed, that they got a handout. Is that the general perception you feel too among players?
I think as time has gone on, I think it's been more of a I'm not gonna say exactly win-win, but it's more so like fair.
Yeah, you understand
Like
more.
at the end of the day, you're trading away a top 3 player in the league, so it's tough to really be like, all right, this makes sense. But y'all acting like AD a bum.
Yeah.
That's
Like-
so true.
AD is nice. Like
Yeah.
he's the best pick and roll big in the game, my opinion.
That's a pretty safe opinion. I agree.
I would say so too, defensively and offensively. So I think Dallas's move is more win now, like they said, and then Lakers, they have a star for the next 10 years that's gonna be groomed by LeBron and now they have another face of the franchise.
How what do you feel about, just like first thinking about that dynamic there with LeBron and Luka? You know, obviously first thought is people who are not thinking about it too much, I think, are like, only one ball, can they fit together, yada yada. Like, that's me, safe to say, is lazy as hell.
Mumbo
What do you feel about
Yeah.
that fit? How do you think it's gonna be to defend?
I mean, they got JJ as their coach. He's just so happy and like over
I
the moon
bet.
right now.
I
Like
bet.
there was one video I saw online where he had looked down at the bench. It was like LeBron and Luka, and he was smiling.
yeah, we saw that.
And he had to tell himself to stop.
He had a lock in.
He's like, calm down. But nah, bro, they're just two of the smartest basketball players in the league. So they're gonna figure it out.
Yeah.
Like they're gonna find a way. And also too, it's kind of lazy too, because like Kyrie was an on-ball creator, but he can have like some all-ball tendencies. I think what people aren't realizing is Bron is a really good screener roller, and so playing in that short role for him takes a lot less miles off of him and like a lot less usage as well.
Yeah, it's great. Well, that's all the time we got with you today. We got to get you out of here, keep you moving to your next obligation on All-Star Weekend. Appreciate you coming through, man. It was a fun conversation.
Appreciate y'all, man. It
was great.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
Gotcha. Listen, we undersold to over deliver, right?
There you go. Exactly.
Promised you one interview, gave you two. It is what we do. Listen, we were having a lot of conversations, right? A lot of chit chat, a lot of yapping over All-Star break. But I hope you guys, enjoyed those two conversations. Those were very fun, especially because, again, both of those guys are players who we, as a group and as a show, are really big fans of. They're both having really, really good seasons. So shout out to Trey, shout out to Darius. They were great, awesome time. Listen, come back on the show, right?
Yeah, man, exactly.
Exactly.
It was All-Star weekends. We only had so much time with those guys. They had to move around a lot. We had like a 20-minute cap with Darius, 30-minute cap with Trey Murphy. Hopefully one day we can get those guys back on the show for a longer, full-length interview. We can go more in-depth on some stuff. Don't got to fly through topics. But either way, it was fun. Like you said, a lot of yap at All-Star weekend. A lot of yap.
A lot of yap. So I think our goal, we're gonna give you TD3. Well, we're gonna do Big J, real hard hitting journalism stuff. You know what I'm saying? But we're gonna do TD3 stuff. Yeah, exactly.
Real hard in journalism. Hey, Darius, what do you think about the Skims ad? What do you think about Donovan Mitchell's meat print?
Listen, it is not our fault that the meat print is in the cultural zeitgeist of the NBA. It's just our job to ask those questions, and we did it.
React to the hand we're dealt, and it's fine.
Exactly, and we did it. So I'm very proud of us.
I know, it was a good interview. I wish Mo was here to talk about it too, but it was a very good weekend. What was
He's
your
on
favorite
All-Star
part of
break.
All-Star weekend? Yeah, I didn't tell him. Mo's on All-Star break. This man's in Tahiti. This man's vacationing. Good for him.
Yeah, he's
Well,
out of
well,
here.
we're here to yap in his absence. We got him next to us in spirit, as you guys see on the screen right now.
Facts.
What was your favorite part of All-Star weekend?
What was my favorite part of All-Star Weekend? Honestly, the interviews were cool because obviously we've had we talked to Moses Moody before, but it was very cool just going back and forth. We had a lot of interviews lined up, and so it really felt like nonstop. And so talking to the players that we kind of talk about all the time, that was cool.
Yeah, it was a good time. Yeah, very hectic weekend. But yeah, outside of the All-Star stuff, we're gonna, every time we do these interviews, we don't just give you the interview. We give you also a regular T3 episode. What we're gonna do this week for the bulk of the show after remaining now, we didn't do a stream this week, so we didn't talk about the biggest news stories of the week. So we're gonna do that for the next hour or so. I'm gonna run you guys through the biggest headlines of things that have happened since the last time you heard from us, and then we'll go on the TikTok time. 2-man gaming it, 2-man weaving it. Should be fun.
Let's go.
First news story of the week, something that actually broke today as of recording this. We're going to start from a low point, something that is not fun, something that we all hate to see. Victor Wembanyama is out for the remainder of the year.
Oh, my Shayla! Oh, no!
After suffering a deep vein thrombosis in his right shoulder. Many of you probably saw that initial Shams tweet and said, what the fuck is that? I concur, had no idea. It's a blood clot, essentially, in a specific part of your shoulder that apparently over the last week during All-Star break, he was really fatigued and they kind of realized, oh, something's up. Turns out it is a full-on blood clot. He's going to miss the rest of the season.
Yeah, I really, obviously, because Wemby is not only one of our favorite players, one of the best players in the league, one of the best players in the world. I do hope he's okay because I don't think it's ever been good whenever the reporter has to send out a subsequent tweet explaining what the injury is.
Yeah.
When Shams has to go and do the Googling and then explain to us what this crazy medical term is, that's where everyone kind of gets like really nervous. And then obviously like you've seen a whole bunch of people already start like, oh no, like this is how it started with Chris Bosh. Like, is he gonna be okay?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not even gonna sit up here and pretend like I know anything about blood clots. So obviously it just sucks because the Spurs needed a break. They needed to make a final push. They went and got De'Aaron Fox, and now we're not going to get to see them make that last push for the remainder of the season. So that does suck. But tank season, like
listen,
there's
silver linings to everything. There's silver linings to everything in this world. You don't want to see Victor Wembanyama miss any times. You don't want to see a blood clot with anybody. You don't know how severe that can get. Health issues that stem from that. So hope for the best recovery. With that being said, I was not under the impression that the Spurs were going to do much this year regardless. I've been telling you all year, I love Wemby. Shout out De'Aaron Fox. The roster kind of sucks around them. I didn't have high hopes. I have high hopes if this team can land a top 5 pick going into next year, as well as like the 13th pick with the Hawks. I see this, I get sad, and then I get real excited because I'm like, oh man, if De'Aaron Fox gets that thumb surgery that he's been pushing off for months now, he needs to get it repaired. Go ahead and do that this week. They're currently the 12 seed. We can get down to 14. We can get a real good shot at capturing that flag. We can make something happen.
First of all, that would be absolutely insane. If you had De'Aaron Fox, Cooper Flag, and Wemby for the next
I'd cry.
For the next 5 to 7 years, like that's insane. They already have like 20 plus wins, and there's some teams that have been trying their absolute best to not win basketball games. So I don't know. I don't know like how close to the line that they can get, but yeah, like this is 100% the time to go and tank and do all that stuff. But also, this is exactly why you go and you get a De'Aaron Fox. Because imagine if Wemby had gotten hurt and you don't have De'Aaron Fox on your team, and now you're going into next offseason with no building blocks. Let's say you don't get the top 5 pick, and now like all the momentum, all the hope, none of that is there. At least you can fall back and go into the offseason and be like, okay, we have our duo. Now let's see what we're gonna do around the edges. This is exactly why you go and you be aggressive. When you go and you be aggressive and you try to strike while the iron's hot.
Yeah. I'm honestly, again, it sucks for him. You'd rather get Wemby having playoff experience. The team, you want to compete anytime you have a top 10 player in the world. So put that out there. I wish it didn't happen. But I'm very excited because obviously, like you said, they got the building block. Stephon Castle, the past 15 games, has taken a leap. His rim scoring has been ridiculous. I think, especially if De'Aaron Fox does get that surgery, which is just speculation from me, but maybe there's a little management, whatever it may be. Castle continuing to get on-ball reps and really building out the momentum we've seen these last 15 games is an unequivocally good thing. They didn't give up Vassell in that trade. Unequivocally good thing. You can't really understate how exciting it is to have the potential to add 2 more lottery picks when you already have a star duo. We said this last year when they were able to get 2 top 10 picks next to Wemby to begin with. Obviously, they punted one down the line, traded it, and essentially traded that pick they punted for De'Aaron Fox. It was a 2031 Timberwolves pick. It's even more exciting now when we'll see where the lottery odds get them with their pick, but you already have the Hawks pick, which is currently 15th. You could imagine a world that falls into the lottery. Wemby's already taken another step since this last year point we talked about this. They got Tim Duncan because David Robinson got hurt.
Exactly.
They got Tim Duncan because they had to do this exact same situation.
Exactly. So right now in the Western Conference, I'm looking at it right now. Spurs are out of it in terms of play-in stuff.
Yeah.
Phoenix is at 11, and they are a game and a half behind Golden State for the 10th spot. Do we think that Phoenix has any chance of getting in, or is the top 10 locked for you?
Oh yeah, Phoenix definitely has a chance, right? I mean, you get a chance when you got those guys. I don't know if I'm excited about their chances, but they have a chance.
Like mathematically, it can happen. But
it would be crazy.
But we've been hating on the Suns for the last 2 months.
Sure, we're talking about the 10 seed though. It's not a high bar. I'm not saying they're gonna make a deep run, but they could get into the play-in race.
All right.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I'm expecting it, but it's possible. I say it to say they could pass up the Suns and they could they could pass up the Spurs and push the Spurs down and for the purpose you're talking about, yes, that team could be better than them for sure.
Okay. All right, that's fair.
But outside of that, looking forward, we're talking about what this team could add. I'm at the point of the season where I don't have a huge understanding of the draft class coming up besides the top guys. But I got this pulled up, this Sports Illustrated article. Top 3 in this class: Cooper Flagg, Dylan Harper, VJ Edgecombe. Let's assume they don't get a top 3 pick. You go after that. We have guys that are projected up here, like Trey Johnson from Texas. I don't know how to say this center's name from Duke. Common. I don't want to butcher it. But there's some interesting players in this draft. Ace Bailey, a forward scorer that has kind of his draft stock has dipped a little bit. That'd be kind of cool. Imagine that big power forward scoring body next to Wemby.
The Ace Bailey pick intrigues me only because
Wemby can cover up the shortcomings.
Yeah, he's very controversial because on one hand, I appreciate his style of game so much because
you love a bucket getter.
That's what I'm saying. He goes out and he gets buckets. But if you are saying, okay, this guy's gonna be the guy to come in and get buckets at a generational level, because that's the only way that those guys pan out and do everything. You need to be able to go out and get 33 points a night with absolute ease. Ace Bailey gets a lot of buckets and they are very tough buckets, but that's the issue, is that he works so hard to get these tough buckets. And that's what I'm nervous about. But if he is not the savior of your franchise and you put Ace Bailey with De'Aaron Fox and Wemby, that's where it's oh, okay, yes, please just go out here and kill and get buckets and we'll be fine at that point.
Yeah, especially early in a career when it could be a bench role. When you have, assuming Fox and Vassell are your backcourt next year, maybe Castle earns that starting spot, and you have Vassell at the bench, whatever it may be, maybe all 3 of them, you could very easily, whatever rookie it is, starts off on the bench in a complimentary role, you can put a plug-and-play bucket getter there. Yeah. But obviously, it would be nice if they duck these conversations in general.
All of this is a lot of really big hoping. That the ping pong balls fall exactly that way.
Hey man, they're 10th right now in the lottery odds. So were the Hawks last year, and they got the number 1 pick. Nothing's impossible. If there's ever gonna be any finger put on the scale, this would be the time to do it from whatever parties are involved in the finger pushing on the scale.
You think Adam would do it right for this one? I
mean, listen. If I was running the league, I think it'd be real smart to put the Great White Hope, Cooper Flagg, next to the other face of the league, Victor Wembanyama. And, there's conversations this week about can an international player be the face of the league? That's some good balance there in the 2 faces of the Spurs that could complement each other and really be this dynamic duo forever.
I feel like I've had a pulse on the draft lottery for the past 3 years. I've really been in my bag in terms of all right, where's Adam gonna, put certain people. I had a tweet. I can't remember if it was last year or the year before. I think maybe I can't remember, but I have exactly predicted the number 1 pick previously because there's certain.
You predicted the Hawks?
I can't remember if I actively did it, but I do remember talking about it. But I do think that one of the things that I don't think that Adam likes is complete incompetency. I
love your treatment like this is real.
Oh yeah, no. When I talk about it, it's I know exactly what Adam wants, what he values, and so I don't think that he would put Cooper in San Antonio because that goes against his parity mindset, right? That goes against that, and
he wants to save Utah rather than make Spurs unstoppable.
Why do you think New Orleans got Zion Williamson? Let's open our third eye.
Okay,
right?
oh, shit.
You know what I'm saying? Anthony Davis was out the door. The franchise was one of the least valuable franchises in the league. Had to give them the number 1 pick. See, you're not watching the game the way I'm watching it. You're really not studying the way that I'm studying.
So when you talk about grinding film, just putting tape on the board, this is what I do.
I'm watching evaluations. I'm on Forbes every day, right? You have to follow the money to follow the number 1 pick. It's what you have to do.
All right, man. Next news story. NBA executives believe the Grizzlies could potentially look to move Ja Morant this summer, per Howard Beck, a well-respected reporter. This article came out and caused all sorts of pandemonium because there's not been basketball in the past few days and we ain't that shit to talk about. So everyone's talking about Ja Morant, right? Zach Kleiman, the GM of the Memphis Grizzlies, has since come out and said, we are not trading Ja Morant. He said, right now, we're not having that conversation. So we'll put that out there first. Now let's pretend we don't know that. Because last episode, we came up here and we deep dove into the Grizzlies. And what did I fucking tell you about Ja Morant?
That he was about to get traded. that the sprinkles of like this seems like a
tea leaves.
situation. Yeah.
The tea leaves are there. I didn't say he's about to get traded, but I said the conversation was post Luka trade. I wonder what other star guard could get backdoored, and you could see the next player that gets surprisingly traded. And what we're talking about makes a lot of sense that it could be John Morant. Not that we necessarily are predicting that, but you wouldn't be shocked with how the season's gone. It seems like their offense has really become more purposely less dependent on John Morant when he's on the court because of his availability. They're the lowest frequency pick and roll team in the league. They play a lot more to a style that fits Jaren Jackson, fits the rest of the guys, and isn't exactly glove in hand fit with Ja. Presumably in my eyes, because they don't want to be reliant on his availability, and also because before when they're playing more through him in pick and roll, they had like the 25th half court offense in the league. So maybe they were saying the John Morant centric offense the juice wasn't worth the squeeze, right? So we were talking about this, and then this report comes out where Howard Beck doesn't say he's hearing that they're going to trade him. He basically says, I'm talking to GMs, and they have similar theories to what I just described, that they also see the writing on the wall, and they think with another playoff disappointment, if that were to happen, they could see a world where the Grizzlies have to entertain it. Very interesting that came out exactly when we saw it.
Yeah, it makes. I think the number one thing that obviously like Dallas had pointed out, and then now you look at it with Memphis, is in terms of like tea leaves and indicators of all this stuff, is on a week to week, month to month basis. How much is this guy playing, or how much how available do you think this guy is going to be for you in the next couple years? Because obviously Dallas was like. Basically, like, yeah, Luka's fat as hell. He's never gonna play. His Achilles is about to explode. Whatever. They feel that way. They moved on from him. John Morant is actually like that. John Morant does not play. 5
games in a row.
Yeah, he doesn't do that. And so if you're looking at the Grizzlies, and we talked about it last week, part of the reason why they probably felt the need to go to this type of offense is because Ja's never there. So why would you you can't prepare yourself for the playoffs because your star is not going to be here. So it would make sense. And I don't think I don't think that if it happened that you look at Memphis and you're like, oh, how could you do that to Ja? I also think that having, quote unquote, the situations that Ja has had on top of the availabilities, all of that stuff that has happened over the last 3 years is like, yeah, maybe it's just not gonna happen here, and we can just move on.
And so Zach Kleiman's exact comments when asked about this, he said, I can't blame other executives for fantasizing about us trading Ja, but it's just that fantasy. We are not trading Ja. Continue to underestimate Ja, this team, and the city, and we will let our performances on the floor speak for itself. I'm not going to give this nonsense further oxygen, and I look forward to getting back to basketball.
Good for Zach Kleiman.
Yeah, but you got to say that, right?
Yeah,
he should shut this down. Like, they're clearly right now not looking to trade Ja. That's not a thing. Like they're not making calls right now saying, hey, you want Ja? We like what Nico Harrison did. We want that same reaction. That'd be swell to trade the fan favorite. That's not happening. And I don't think the initial report was insinuating that that's happening. The initial report is basically saying GM smell blood in the water. And they think he might be next because maybe they don't necessarily see this team as having a chance to beat the Thunder. Whether you believe that's true or not, neither here nor there. But this is all about what we think the Grizzlies might do in the future. And even with Zach saying this, of course he feels this at this moment, I don't think it's crazy to look at what's happening on the court and imagine a world where maybe they change their mind.
No. And if I was a team that needed a point guard, needed a franchise point guard, as the day after the Memphis Grizzlies get eliminated in the playoffs, right? Whenever that may be, I'm calling you every day. So what's up with Ja? What's going on? What's going on? The same way that the Cat Knicks deal got done, where apparently the Knicks just kept calling and kept calling. It's like, is he available now? Is he available now? I'd do the same thing if I was somebody else looking for a star guard going after Ja Morant, because depending on how the Grizzlies go out, if they go out this year in the playoffs the same way that they've gone out previously, or if Ja's not on the floor in the elimination game, that's going to look bad to a lot of people. And
it'll stick in their minds.
Yes, that's because when they went out in 22, what happened? Ja's not there, right? Ja got hurt when they went out to against the Lakers. Ja was hurt at the end of that series. If they go out another year and Ja is not on the floor, it's gonna be like, well, damn. Like, are we ever going to be able to at least go down fighting with you on the floor? And so you're going to hear that rumbling around the league and from like Memphis fans, you probably already do. So I wouldn't be shocked.
And I don't want to piss off Memphis fans too much because I'm not even saying I would trade Ja. I would not be personally in the business of trading a player as high ceiling as Ja Morant. You guys have seen our playing rankings in the past. You know how high I've held on to my Ja Morant beliefs and how much I see a world where if you get the most of him on the court, his value is immense, even if it's not necessarily in ways that like we traditionally award in player comparisons. Like he's not super efficient. He doesn't blow your socks off defensively. The playmaking isn't like top 5 in the world. I still see a vision with him and just the downhill threat he brings that if utilized properly, I think is amazing. I wouldn't be trying to trade him. I'm just saying I'd understand it and I would not be surprised if it does happen.
Now that Luka's been traded, everybody else can be traded. The only player right now who can be traded and I would have the same, like, oh my goodness, this is the stupidest decision, I can't believe this happened, would be Wemby. Everybody else, if they got traded, I'd be like, well, Luka got moved, so I guess it's just open season.
Game is the game.
Yeah. Charge it. Just charge it.
Yep. Next news story. We got some Kevin Durant comments in an interview with Malika Andrews that were quite interesting. He said, when asked about, okay, so rewind a little bit. We know he almost got traded to the Golden State Warriors. It apparently didn't happen because he told the Warriors he has no desire to play there. So they didn't go through with it and they ended up getting Jimmy Butler, right? Steve Kerr was asked about it days later and he said, I get it. I don't know if I'd want to come back either after how everything went and all the public perception and the pressure he dealt with and the reasons we think he left. I wouldn't want to come back either. Malika Andrews asked Kevin Durant about Steve Kerr's comments, and he said, that's not the reason why I didn't want to come back. I just didn't want to get traded midway through the season. And in this clip, he also says explicitly, it has nothing to do with Draymond. Do you believe him?
No, I don't. but like, I think that a lot of people in the NBA are liars, but I think that they have to be.
Yeah,
like,
you can't be up here and say, fuck Draymond, I don't want to play with him again. You can't say that.
Yeah, even if you felt that and like at like a 5% rate, and it's not like the dominant reason why you didn't want to go back to Golden State, but you feel that way. Like you said, you can't say that and then now Kevin Durant, knowing how social media works, knowing how the game works, now he just gave this quote up of like, yeah, I'm not doing it because of that guy. Like you are instantly starting something that just doesn't need to be started when you and your team yourself are right now outside of the play-in. All you guys should be focused on is basketball. All you guys should be focused on is getting enough wins to get to the 10 seed and saying anything else is going to bring all that drama. But I do think that it is very interesting that he's like, whoa, I never said I didn't want to go. I just said like, it would be a lot. I had to find a new apartment, all that stuff. Like that's the most intriguing part about this.
Yeah, he also was asked about the general situation about potentially being traded, and he was like, I ain't asked for a trade. You got to ask the Suns front office. They're the ones trying to trade me. And this is also coming weeks after, I think it was Brian Windhorst, reported with a lot of confidence. He said it with his chest that one of the best, the worst kept secret in the league right now is Kevin Durant will request a trade this summer. He doesn't like how it went down. He said that with some authority in his voice. Like he's like, trust and believe he will be gone this summer. So interesting. Maybe I don't know what the Warrior situation will be like with Jimmy the rest of the season. Maybe they try to go back down that road. It would be kind of weird to trade Jimmy, the next summer. Yeah. But apparently there was rumors that the Suns were interested in Jimmy as a part of this whole moving parts if they were to trade Kevin Durant. So he clearly didn't shut the door on the Warriors as a possible destination in the future. So it's at the very least interesting.
If you put yourself in Kevin Durant's shoes, would you want to go back to the Warriors?
Yes.
Why?
I love Steph Curry.
Okay.
He made my life better. He made my life better, and deep in my heart, I know I was at my best with him, and I know my life would be easy, and I'm dying to find a home, and I think I could go back to a home I once had. Maybe I rejected them at the time, and I pretended they weren't my home, but I can make amends.
Do you think that Warriors fans look at KD and be like, this is your home? Do they look at KD as like the prodigal son and be like, listen, like we've been waiting for you to come back? Like, I don't, because I don't
fans
know.
Are fickle. Fans are fickle. Warriors fans have been starved of hope as of late. And I think Jimmy Butler's good, and I think it'll go decently. I don't think they'll win the championship. So I think they'll take what they can get. And I think they talk a lot of shit now, and they're like, oh, we don't want Kevin Durant. We don't need him. Steph better. I I think if the chance came around, I think they would be open to it. I think it would be a positive reception.
But they would never, because like part of it of like why he's leaving in the first place is like, yo, like you guys dogged me when I was there. Everyone the whole time was like, oh yeah, Steph better. It's never gonna be your team, this and that. And like, I think like obviously we are like 4 or 5 years away from like 5 years away.
Yeah.
Removed from that. And so everyone's a little bit older, a little bit, wiser, more mature, can probably navigate all those things a little differently. But I still don't think that like if he came back there, at least from everybody else, because you know what one of the talking points would be if he went back to the Warriors, whether he requested a trade or not. Here he goes. Running back to
home.
Steph. Running back to Steph. He know where home is.
They're still not gonna love you like Steph is his team. Yada yada. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Obviously, no NBA player in the history of the sport has ever had more psychoanalysis done to them than Kevin Durant. So it's like every fan, including us, has like this idea in their heads of what Kevin Durant thinks. That some things have been understood through comments he's made. Some things have been pure speculation, mixed reporting, and whatnot. So I don't know how he actually feels about the situation in reality. I feel like it's probably, I tend to believe that maybe he just didn't fuck with Draymond and wanted to leave because he was a dickhead to him on national TV. I feel like that probably made more of a difference than the like not getting enough credit. He doesn't actually strike me as a guy who's like, no, you better call me the best player, not Steph Curry. So I like to believe that 5 years later, with all the baggage behind him, that why not go play with him again? It'd be cool. It'd be great. You'd be a good team. We know he likes quality basketball above all. He's made that very abundantly clear. He's about the game. He can play for a very long time next to Steph Curry as they both go through the last 5 years of their career or whatever.
Percentage that he goes back to Golden State in the next 3 years.
I don't know. Probably low. I mean, a lot of stuff has to happen.
Say a number
now. 12? I don't know.
Thank you. That's all I want.
Well, I hope. I can't wait because there's definitely going to be a Kevin Durant trade saga coming this summer. I hope the Warriors are part of that because even just as a fan, like I really want to see that happen. I know we were high on Jimmy going there, but once the Warriors Kevin Durant to the Warriors became a possibility, I want to see that story. That's just a cool story for him to go back now with years of maturation.
That would be the fun part. It would be kind of sad though because it's like, dang, like we got to watch our heroes as old men.
They get old.
Yeah,
I think it's cool though. I want to see our heroes age together. Like when the LeBron to Golden State stuff was in the air, I was kind of like, all right, well, let's see them be old men together. I guess that's fine.
Yeah, but they're not gonna win a championship. Is the thing.
I don't really care. I'm like, we've seen 2 instances now of Kevin Durant as a mercenary going to these teams to build these stack big threes and try to win a championship. It hasn't worked. I'm kind of over that. I don't really give a shit anymore in terms of like how Kevin Durant affects the championship window. So I think the novelty of him going back to Golden State would be cooler than him going and forming a third super team.
You don't understand. I'm trying to think about Steph Curry's best interests. I'm trying. I'm trying. Okay. And I guess like all in all, having Kevin Durant on your team is it's always, it's like 98% of the time is gonna be in your best interest to have him there. So it's like okay, that'll work.
You know how rare of a team you have to be it would be more ideal to not have Kevin Durant than to have him. Almost no circumstances ever would you rather not have Kevin Durant.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't compute the right way.
Yeah. But okay, next news story. Let's stick to the Golden State Warriors and let's move over to the other side of that locker room to somebody else that's not Steph Curry, who we got to talk about. Draymond Green. Draymond Green was parading around TV during All-Star Weekend, doing a lot of appearances. I think it was on TNT he was on. Yeah. And man, was he being a negative motherfucker. He was up there saying how much he hates everything, how much he doesn't think the Rising Stars element of the All-Star game deserves to be a thing, yada, yada. That part, I guess, I don't necessarily disagree with. But he talked about the state.
Right on that.
Yeah, that's fine. Well, they should try harder so they don't have to pull the young guys out there to.
I agree. I agree with that too. But why is Keontae George on my screen when it's All-Star? You know, like that part he is.
Chase Jackson Davis, get out the court. I get it. But the interesting part was he also talked about the state of the NBA right now and that it's very boring. Everybody plays the same. It's all about who takes the most threes, who runs up and down real fast, yada, yada. Which to me is a very shallow understanding of the game. Even from a player's perspective, I just think it's lazy and not accurate. My POV. What I love to see is Oscar Robertson also made it clear he thinks that shit is lazy and not accurate. There's a lot. Oscar Robertson ethered Draymond Green.
No, he did.
He had a full clip. The summary is It might be boring to him because if he's not passing the ball to Curry, what is he doing? Not to single that out, because I think he knows how to play basketball, but he's passed the ball to Curry more than anyone. And I'll play the full clip and you can watch the captions and see all what he says. But he was like, who gives a damn what Draymond thinks at a time like this? And it was amazing.
I can't wait to be 80 years old and just be just say whatever comes to mind. Old people are so unhinged. They are so just as brutally honest as can be. And it's like, and they are funny. It's
wonderful.
Yeah, they are funny because they are honest and mean. But you know that they mean everything that they say. And so it's like, but at the same time, shout out to Oscar Robertson because like, yeah, the game is not just, we've obviously like gone back and forth. It is at a literal level, just more complex than people running up and down, shooting, running pick and roll. So like I guess like I expect for Draymond, for what Draymond said, I expect that to come from like Scottie Pippen's mouth or like BJ Armstrong or like somebody who played it in the 90s and like hasn't grown up in this era's game. It did kind of suck for Draymond Green, one of the smartest players of today's game, to say that about the game, especially in this stage. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
and like, he's welcome to his own opinion. Fine. Go for it. You can think that. We talked to Moses Moody. He also kind of thought that. So players are allowed to think that if you want. Fans are allowed to think that if you want. To each their own. I understand why they think that. I reject when people are like, if a player's saying it, it must be true. They know better than anybody. I'm like, well, that's such a subjective opinion that I don't necessarily care that he's a player having it. I don't give a shit about that. And I feel I don't think it's too arrogant to say that that's straight up not fucking true. That if you step back, you can have your opinion. I don't think that's true at all. There's so many teams that play different styles. We talk about the Grizzlies. They run the least pick and roll in the league. They run straight drives and isolations and attacking closeouts and rotating around, filling spaces. They play absolutely nothing like the Phoenix Suns, who run tons of ball screens, tons of mid-range jumpers. They play absolutely nothing like the Sacramento Kings, who run through Domantas Sabonis as a DHO hub. Now imagine that compared to Luka Doncic, who plays like prime James Harden, nonstop isolation and really heliocentric ball. All these stars have such unique identities. It is so simplistic to think they all play the same because there's a higher volume of threes. The way they get to those threes are entirely different. The way they defend is entirely different. Draymond knows better than anybody how complex defense is. Players know better than anybody how complex defenses are. Why do we have players going on TV talking about the game sucks now? Even just leave it there. Even if you think that's true, why the fuck? Like, what is the point of that discourse?
And the most disappointing part, or is disappointing and predictable out of everything. Do you remember when Draymond first started his podcast? When he first started showing up on TV and he's responding to people on Twitter? And at the end of it, he's always saying whatever tweet, #new media. With a new media, players are coming in, giving this same perspective. And everyone was like, okay, that's cool, right? It's cool whenever you go on your podcast 5 minutes after a playoff game and some wild stuff has gone down. And now you can tell us like, oh yeah, we were talking about this in the huddle and this ref said this and that's not really what happened. That's great. That's new media. Wait till you get to July, buddy. Wait till you get to All-Star break and no games are happening and you have to come out here and start talking. And now you're here in this moment doing the same thing that #old media has been doing. And you are falling into everything in terms of hot take and falling into hot takes, rankings. He had an off season where after the Warriors had lost, had a live show and went straight to, Steph Curry, he wasn't a bucket getter back then, and KD was doing this, and went straight into like Twitter conversations. And so like the evolution of Draymond Green's media career and his media presence, it really is. That's what I think is the most interesting part about it, because it really has fallen into straight old media conversations and the fresh perspective that he has given and still can give like from time to time.
Yeah, it still does give with the other stuff. Yeah,
but you're not getting that as consistently as you did a year or even 2 years ago.
Yeah, I think this is like a whole different, very interesting conversation about like why media is the way it is. And yeah, like you said, the player media push over the last 5 years has been excellent. It's been great to see. It's better that players you represented than not be represented in terms of driving narratives. But there was a lot of pompousness in the beginning about how different it's going to be, how easy it is to not do old media stuff and everything. And as you see, for all the reasons you said, people devolve into that. It's pretty fucking hard to fill a year-long calendar of only do the best, most fresh, nonstop ideas and not do any low-hanging fruit to do stuff. Like, you start to realize when you're sitting in the chair how much these things that people do in old media, the clickbaity stuff, the stuff for aggregation, all this stuff, it happens for a reason because just the platforms kind of incentivize it to some extent. So you're right. That's a larger conversation about like the realities of what's necessary to do constant programming.
Facts. And at least we're honest, right? We lied
I'll
to you.
clickbait the fuck out of you every week.
That's what I'm saying. We lied to y'all, but as soon as y'all click that video, we tell you we lied to you. So at least we are honest. You know what I'm saying?
Every single thumbnail I can, I'm gonna put the Warriors or the Lakers, and I'm gonna put a negative number next to them to make those fans mad and click the video. And I'll never fucking stop. I'll never stop.
And to be honest, if I'm telling you that I'm lying to you, am I really lying? You know what I'm saying? Am I really just telling the truth?
Game is the game. Listen.
Come on.
Every week, I'm going to rank some shit. I'm going to tier list some shit. I'm going to do something that makes your brain go, oh, I got to watch the rest of this video.
Come on. You're not seeing the game the way we're seeing it. Tap in. Lock in.
And I won't pretend to be anything otherwise. We're going to play the game because that's what you need to do. There will be the substance along with it, but we will always do what's necessary.
Facts.
But yeah, man. So it was just funny to see Oscar Robertson ether him a little bit. Because it's just such a lazy comment, and it's funny to see an old man who doesn't get out much, but has the credibility to eat the Draymond Green, and he can't really say anything back.
Oscar kind of be outside though. He was at All-Star Weekend. He was from.
Yeah, it was a surprise. That's why he's doing this. He's talking like he's not out there a lot. Yeah. But yeah, like, what is Draymond gonna say to Oscar Robertson?
Nah, he'll probably still try to pull up on Oscar.
Sure, but go ahead, try it. It's Oscar Robertson. Ultimate credibility.
They'll have a conversation.
Yeah. But okay, next news story, last news story of the day. There's been some discourse about the Los Angeles Lakers Mark Williams trade that was rescinded. As you know, they traded for Mark Williams and immediately said, never mind, we ran our physical. We think you're broken. We think we don't want to pay this much for you because we are not as confident as we once were about your long-term health. We're good. Give us back Mr. Connect 4. That was met with a lot of surprise. People's first reaction was, oh, his physical must have been scary to make them back out and want to play with no centers. That must have been horrible, right? In recent days, we have Shams telling people what Mark Williams' agent thinks of the matter. He says, the overwhelming sentiment after conferring with multiple nationally recognized doctors is that the Los Angeles Lakers should not have failed Mark Williams on his physical. He also said, Mark was ready and able to play for them and should have been given that opportunity. And then Mark Williams, in a post-game presser, said that, long story short, he kind of thinks maybe they regretted it because they gave up too much. He doesn't know what it was, but he doesn't believe it was really his physical.
I'm sure he doesn't. I'm sure, I'm sure it sucks to be like, yeah, man, you're broken. And not only are you broken, you can't live in LA. You got to go back to Charlotte. I'm sure it sucks to be told that in one day. So like, yeah, I'm very curious. So like, is there any way that this trade can be forced to go through in the offseason?
Not anymore. There was reported that the Hornets were thinking about petitioning it. They did not end up actually filing the petition. So I think it's past that.
It's just done.
Yeah. But this is so interesting because can people not see through the clear PR spin that they're being given?
No, this is why you have PR.
Yeah, this is why you have agents. Like, I don't know if this is that obvious to people because now people on Twitter are talking about Rob Pelinka got buyer's remorse. And I saw some people trying to like big brain it and say Rob Pelinka wanted to show Luka Doncic that he'd get the trade and then rescind it because he didn't actually want to give up the picks. He just wanted Luka to think that he's smart and wanted to go to help him and do what he wanted. None of that is true. They gave up a lot for him. They brought him in and said, we're scared. Maybe he doesn't have knee cartilage or whatever the physicality thing may be. Not worth it. They didn't prefer to have no centers and waste a year where they don't have a final ceiling because they have no bigs. I can guarantee you they'd prefer to have Mark Williams if he was as advertised and not. But now we have a lot of people on Twitter who believe that like Pelinka got scared because maybe he didn't know who Mark Williams was, and he gave up too much. What you're seeing is Mark Williams has a good agent who does not want the rest of the league to think his body is broken beyond repair so he can never make money. They want him to think that Rob Pelinka is an idiot. I'm worth $30 million a year. Give it to me. And the Hornets want people to believe that So other teams say he's worth 2 first-round picks. Give it to us.
Yes. Do you think that like if Rob Pelinka's plan was I'm gonna complete this trade and then rescind it on our own because we're gonna fail Mark Williams, whatever. What type of sense does that make to do that to Dalton Connect? To the first round pick that you drafted this year to make Dalton Connect go through all of the mental gymnastics that he's had to go through over the last like 2 weeks, where it's like, okay, yeah, you're actually traded. Actually, come back to the team and act like nothing ever happened. Like that's a very, very hard thing to do. And so one, it just wouldn't make sense to put Connect through that. And not only are you trying to show Luka that, yes, we are going to make moves and we are trying to get people in the building that you like to play with and that, theoretically fit your play style, you also have a 40-year-old LeBron James that you are trying to also maximize a window. Like you can't waste the last 3 months of LeBron playing like this because you have no idea how he's going to, show up next season. And so the same way that they did 2 years ago where they completely restructured the team, made a run to the Western Conference Finals, that's something that they probably could have done this year if they got Mark Williams and he was everything that they thought he was going to be. Like if Mark Williams was healthy and they actually had a center and you got Luka Doncic and LeBron, like a reinvigorated LeBron James, that team out west where there's a whole bunch of just like, oh, I don't really know about this team, I don't know about that team, the Lakers could have made a run. It doesn't. It doesn't make sense.
I came up here and I said, I think they can make the conference finals, and it's not insane. I think they can make the finals if things go well.
Everybody said that. Everybody, as soon as the Mark Williams deal got done, everyone's like, oh my God, the Lakers, they did it again. Oh my goodness. So like, you clearly see the value in obtaining a Mark Williams rather than having Dalton Connect in that spot and whatever assets. Like you were very content trading away that first round pick because it's like, we're going to have Luka for the next 10 years. We don't care about those picks. Like all the reasonings just doesn't make sense.
Yeah. I hate a dumb conspiracy theory. And I hate when people can't see when they're being manipulated through the media. They're trying to fix his reputation to you and you're eating it up as a way to say, haha, Rob Pelinka's dumb. You're being bamboozled by a smart agent who thinks you're too dumb to see through it. And he's right this time.
You are proving him right. For sure.
Watch it come out that Rob Pelinka actually backed out and we're just up here being confident and wrong.
Listen, that was to everybody. I've been loud and wrong plenty of times before.
You and me both.
Exactly. That won't be my first. This won't be my last. I don't care.
I swear to you, I'll never stop going in being wrong. I promise you.
I promise you. Because you never think that you're wrong, right? You never.
Yeah.
Exactly.
People say to me all the time, they're like, oh, my whole life, especially in the comments here, everyone's always like, he's always acting like he's right. I wouldn't say it if I thought I was wrong. Of course I'm going to say it confidently. Exactly. I wouldn't come here with halfway confidence. If I didn't believe this shit, I wouldn't be saying it.
Exactly. Come on, man.
That's how it always is in our conversations where me and you will argue and the comments will be like, Isaac's so annoying. He's always talking to Donovan like he thinks he's right. I'm like, we disagree. And of course I think I'm right. I'm not going to tell him this. I think I'm halfway right. I believe this shit.
Yes.
I'm just more passionate. I don't know.
And if I find out that I'm wrong mid-conversation, I'm gonna be louder. Like at this point, it's just about pride. Like I can't go out like that. You know what I'm saying? So you're not gonna know until I turn the camera off. I'll be like, I actually felt this way. You kind of got me 20 minutes ago, but
I see people are always dying for me to when me and you argue, for me to be like, all right, well maybe you're right. I don't know. I guess we don't know. I'm like, no, we're arguing. What do you want me to say? I think he's wrong. I think I'm right. We wouldn't be having the conversation if I felt otherwise. I'm not going to lie to you and say I don't feel that way anymore.
It's making it
I wasn't convinced in the last 2 minutes.
Yeah. No, I get it.
It's always funny.
Okay, can I throw something at you? Because I've actually given a lot of thought to it.
I'll catch it.
Okay, so I've been thinking about the All-Star game a lot. Mm-hmm. And so obviously this is going to come out on Friday. Yeah, I'm throwing it. Listen, this is a back shoulder, right? Back shoulder. So two things. One, I don't think that we should scrap the weekend. Okay. I think that you can continue to have the game. Let me give you my proposal for things we can do to the game.
How do you want to fix All-Star Weekend? Let me know.
Okay. So one, I think we bring back legends in the on Saturday night. Like you used to have like a legends like shooting stars, where you have like a legend current player and like a WNBA player. I think you bring that back. The whole weekend, all I've heard all week from a lot of like the older people in media is saying All-Star Weekend was cool when I was little because you never got to see, you know, a certain All-Star every single night of the week. And so like All-Star Weekend was like very novel in that way. And it's just not that anymore. So All-Star Weekend needs to be something where you can celebrate the game. And I think that you go back to the game and here's what you do. We use FIBA time rules. We cut the game down from 48 minutes to 40 minutes. There's too many threes, right? In terms of like in an all-star context. It's too much bad basketball anyways. Let's make the game shorter. So by doing that also, you kind of eliminate a little bit the possibility of like a blowout. So you get FIBA stuff. We do the Elam ending. I actually like it for the All-Star game. You play a regular quarter, and then at the end, you take whatever score, add it. That's the target score. We do that, and it feels like pickup basketball. Now, because the game is shorter and you're doing the Elam ending, you still have time pre and post game, even at halftime, to have all the Mr. Beast and Kevin Hart that you want and all the product placement that you want. So the NBA, like your ad sponsorships, still good. We start every single quarter, like in the 60s, jump ball, right? We do that. We do.
Wait, they did that every quarter in the 60s?
Yeah.
I don't even think I knew that. That's kind of cool.
Like there was a point. The jump ball is how you start the quarter.
Yeah.
So we're doing that with really every single era, and I don't know how this is going to work with the All-Star practice, but you really do. We're drafting teams before the game.
On the court?
On the court. We are drafting teams before the game. And again, the biggest, like all the corporate people are going to be like, but the jerseys. Guess what? Now you get to sell jerseys in 2 colors because people don't know what side they're going to be on. So that's how I would fix the game. We would have the draft before the game. It would be a shorter game, but you still get to have all the highlights. You have the Elam ending. You put everything together, and you take something from every little era, something from every little, way of basketball, and that's what you do.
You make the jerseys reversible, and they physically flip them inside out if they got drafted for the other team.
Like it's youth ball.
Exactly.
We're cooking. Yes.
We make the jerseys reversible.
That's exactly what we would do.
Oh, that's like, you want to sell more jerseys? That's some novel shit. That would help with sales to be able to have 2 jerseys in one.
We gotta do that. But yes, that is
Adam, take notes.
That's my way to fix the All-Star game, because all the gimmick stuff, and this you asked us this before when they announced it. I was like, I don't care about this system because it's not gonna look good unless the players actually try. So like whatever you do, the buy-in is the buy-in is going to be the buy-in. And I'm very confident that the buy-in is going to be good because did you see how hard Wemby was trying this whole weekend? He cared.
That's the tone.
He cared. Him and Giannis for the next 5 years are going to be the 2 guys that are going to go crazy, try hard this whole time. And people are going to be forced to play or are going to get embarrassed. Mm-hmm. So that is my proposal.
I'm glad you have a bevy of ideas on how to save the All-Star weekend, because I could not give less of a fuck. All this discourse, people keep asking me, you guys make a video about how to save All-Star weekend like the rest of the NBA YouTubers? Fuck no, I'm not. I do not care. I will not pretend to care. I didn't watch the All-Star game. I was on a flight home after a busy All-Star weekend. I was tired. I had no desire to go back and watch it. To me, All-Star weekend has been dead for so long. It's pretty much been dead for most of my fandom. Like I started really getting into basketball when I was like 11, which is like 2010. Like it hasn't been super exciting my whole life. It's not this new like last 5 years thing. So it just doesn't mean a lot to me. Like I know you mentioned the old heads, like back in the 90s it meant a lot because you don't have a league pass. You can't watch these teams all the time. I watch Victor Wembanyama play all the time. I don't need to see him do it on a blue and yellow court. Doesn't mean a lot to me. I'm okay with it kind of just dying a slow death, and we still do it. It becomes this corporate partnership weekend, whatever it is what it is. I personally don't feel a lot of hope in the All-Star game becoming good again for all the reasons that have been well documented with the players having too much to do and all this stuff. I kind of just don't care if it dies or not.
But and I feel that. However, I went back and I was doing research because I was like, is this actually an issue?
Mm-hmm.
I looked from 1984 to 2000, in basically like the years that Jordan played. There were 4 All-Star games that were decided by 15 points or more. In the last 15 years, right? Like you 4.
15 years opposed to a run of 4 years?
No. In the last 15 years, there have been 4 All-Star games decided by 15 points or more. The same as
the same. Okay.
The same as the same as whenever Jordan was in the league. The amount of blowouts is not the key. What people don't like to see is like, oh, they're scoring 200 points. You can't give the players the opportunity to score 200 points if you cut the game down. And like nobody even cares about actual basketball. Like the best parts about All-Star games are 1 to 2 highlights here and there. And so if you still allow the game to happen, you can still have like, oh, here goes Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum playing one-on-one against each other. Here's, Kobe and LeBron playing one-on-one. We have somebody doing a crazy off the backboard. As long as you can get 1 to 2 of those a game, that's all people care about. That's all people care about.
At the end of the day, you're battling psychology. And the psychology is 200 points scored, yuck. So you remove that part of it, maybe people will look past it.
Yeah.
The only thing I don't like is that it becomes a bigger referendum where we're going to talk about the state of the league and how dire everything is.
Do that every week. So
I know. And it's so exhausting. Like, you can believe that if you want to take the ratings numbers from early in the season to heart and say you're scared for the long-term health of the league, post-TV contract, whatever, go for it. Been there, done that, talked about it. But you can have the belief, I don't care that much. If All-Star Weekend is the reason you feel that way, what the fuck are we talking about? I guess that's the point. I just do not feel like All-Star Weekend is that important to the health of the league to warrant so much conversation. And I know I'm being stick in the mud. It is also weekend, so we're going to talk about it. Yeah. But as far as it being a big deal that decides like the trajectory the league is on, like there were some NHL fans getting their shit off where they were like, NHL had a great All-Star weekend. They're going to pass up the NBA pretty soon.
No, they did.
I believe it. I saw it. Good for them. Mm-hmm. Somebody framed it like the average NHL salary is $2 million. The average NBA salary is $11 million. That'll be flipped in 5 years. And you can see that based on this All-Star game showing you where the leagues are heading. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, if you do not need to make everything this big takeaway, like the All-Star game sucks. To me, that has very little bearing on the health of the league as a whole.
That's what I'm saying. Adam, just call us up. I feel like every 2 months, whenever we have these like state of the league conversations, I feel like we have very reasonable and implementable ideas that ultimately would just be right. So Adam, hit our line. We was just in San Francisco. We were in the same city. Let's build. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk.
And with that being said, we don't have Mo here to do a dramatic, reaction or transition of any sort. I don't know if you want to jump around and start screaming, Donovan, if you want to fucking take your shirt and swing it in the air, but I think it's TikTok time.
My shirt stays on.
See, the pants come off, not the shirt.
Man, let's start.
We're on to TikTok time.
Let's go.
Welcome to TikTok time. Today we're going to start with something we've never done before. I'm going to name you an NBA player, and I want you to tell me who the opposite of them is.
Let's go.
Whoa, I said that's who the opposite of them are, or how do I say that?
Who their opposite is?
Who their opposite is. That's what I meant to say.
Yeah.
Who the opposite of them is.
Got you.
Who their NBA opposite is. So, could be play style wise, could be persona, what they're known for, whatever it may be. Who is the antithesis of this player?
Got you. Like current, all time?
All time.
Perfect.
So wherever you want to take it, when I say who's the opposite of this player, you tell me what comes to your mind.
Got you.
First name, we got Steph Curry.
Andre Roberson. I've never seen a non-shooter like Andre Roberson.
Legendary levels of lack of shooting. And honestly, great defender. Steph Curry, just okay. Role player to star. That's an opposite. I see a lot here. One can dribble, one can't.
Exactly. I've seen Kevin Durant yell at Andre Roberson for not shooting the ball.
Nobody would ever yell at Curry for not shooting the ball.
He would nobody. They would be begging him to shoot the ball. So yeah, I'll go Andre Roberson.
Okay, that's a good way to start it. Sticking to the basketball. Next name, Shaquille O'Neal.
Kobe Bryant. if you just want to go
Work ethic wise?
yeah,
Personality?
just off of who likes to wake up at 5 a.m., watch motivational YouTube videos, who has quotes scribbled all on their wall. It's Kobe Bryant is that guy. Shaq is like, yeah, man, I'm gonna just roll out of bed, score 45, and I'm gonna go to the club. And Kobe's like, I have to go to sleep at 10 p.m. because I'm gonna wake up at 5:30 because I have to get my lifting 20 minutes after. No.
I have to go slaughter a chicken to make my lunch. Like, everything has to be out the mud. And okay, so who's somebody that's hardworking but also small and weak in their play style?
Ooh.
Like, I think honestly, on court, Steve Nash is like the opposite player of Shaq.
Probably.
Shoots a lot, very small, not very strong.
And now you know why Shaq was tight whenever Steve Nash took those MVPs.
Facts. He saw the opposite. He saw like the reverse flash in the mirror. He was like, this guy's everything I'm not.
He's still sick about it to this day. He still can't talk about Steve Nash.
I didn't even know he had that grudge. That's funny.
Oh no, he keeps if we ever meet Shaq, you have to just be like, yo, Steve Nash deserved those 2 MVPs. He might slap you.
I can swear to you, if we ever interview Shaq, I will bring up Steve Nash. Now that you say that, I've never been more sure about something in my life. I will say,
to bring it up.
I think Steve Nash is the top 15 player of all time. What do you think about that?
that bum stole my rings.
Don't ever say that ever again.
This guy.
Don't let me hear you say that ever again. All right. Steve Nash and Kobe. There you go. Those are opposites of Shaq. Next up, Victor Wembanyama. So the longest player of all time. Naturally, the opposite has to be the shortest player of all time.
So it would be Muggsy Bogues.
But he's the longest player that can also shoot. Who's a short player that can't shoot? He can't play defense.
Short. They can't play defense.
Facu Campazzo.
I was thinking Campazzo too.
He is everything Wemby is not. But they're both European. Who is an American Campazzo?
I don't know. American Campazzo. There's not a lot. Who these dimers that can't shoot like that? Rondo.
Who is tiny?
But Rondo's not tiny.
Yeah, he's not tiny enough. Is Ty Jones small enough? He's not comically tiny like Wemby is comically large.
Mm-hmm. This is really tough because you can't be tiny and can't shoot. They won't let you on the court. Like that's why it's hard to.
I guess it has to be Muggsy Bogues. Like he's the only one that is like outlandishly small in the same way that Victor Wembanyama is outlandishly large.
It's like Muggsy Bogues, Big Baby Davis, and like that's the.
You just want to throw that in there.
I did. I've been waiting for like a minute and a half to say that.
He said, "Hey, by the way, he's huge."
those are the two comps. If you put them on an x-axis, like Wemby's like up here.
Wait, let's combine them. Wemby is tall and slender. Is there anybody that's small and large?
No, they don't let you on the court if you're. If you're 5'3" and fat, you're not getting on the court.
If you're Danny DeVito, you can't play sports.
No.
Okay, so you can't truly be the opposite of Wemby.
No, you can't be shaped like a bowling ball and get on an NBA floor. If that is you, Jersey Mike's commercials is your avenue. Like that's where you have to go.
He's like that guy from, what was that reality show where they had the really big guy became a meme? The small guy?
The no net guy? Yeah.
Yeah. Is that like 90 Day Fiance or something?
I think so.
It was something like that. That's him. Okay, next name. We got Kevin Durant.
I need
Eric Bledsoe.
We could say Bledsoe. I could also say potentially, again, I don't know him personally, but just the way that people walk around, Kyle Kuzma.
Kyle Kuzma, what does that mean?
KD is all about the game. He loves nothing more than basketball. That's all he lives and breathes and thinks is just the game. I haven't gotten the impression that Kyle Kuzma is the same way.
Listen, Kevin Durant probably doesn't know who Robert F. Kennedy is. Kyle Kuzma knows who Robert
That's
F.
what I'm
Kennedy
saying. Like,
is.
that's what I'm saying. Kyle Kuzma has a lot of different interests, and he lets them be known. KD's like, yeah, like I'm involved in some other stuff, but I love basketball. He was just, you saw the documentary. He was crying over how much he loved basketball. I don't think Kyle Kuzma has ever gotten to that point where he's just thinking about a hezzy tween and burst into tears.
Oh, maybe his opposite is Bol. Insofar as like they're the polar opposites of what could have been with similar body types. One wants to be Destroy Lonely. One wants to be Dirk. It's different.
Destroy Lonely. Yeah, we can go there.
Like they're both got into the same circumstance, making the NBA with this style of play. One went one way, one with the other.
Just historically, not about his buckets. Like,
Famously not about his buckets. Identifiably not about his buckets.
just does not give a damn about his buckets.
About his buckets. Happy to be there. Kevin Durant is unhappy to be there.
Yeah.
Okay. Next one.
Shout out Bobo, man.
Dylan Brooks.
Malcolm Brogdon.
Oh, dude, that's what I wrote down.
Really? Oh, let's go.
We got the most aggressive role player and the most passive professional role player you can imagine. The most irritable person in the world and the most easygoing person in the world.
That's what I'm saying. Malcolm Brogdon, people call him the president. Dylan Brooks can never lead a country. You would not feel safe if Dylan Brooks had the nuclear codes. I wouldn't like that situation. Malcolm Brogdon probably knows the codes right now. You know, well, actually no. He probably knew them like 4 years ago, but he doesn't know them right now. But yeah, that can't work out.
Trustworthy versus you got something up your sleeve and I know it.
Look at this picture. He looks devious. Yeah,
Drake would never diss Malcolm Brogdon.
that's true.
Would never have a reason to.
Malcolm Brogdon would never put himself in a position to be dissed. So yeah.
Kawhi Leonard. Someone loud.
Patrick Beverly.
Oh, that's a good one.
Patrick Beverly. He might be one of the loudest players in NBA history.
Yeah, pound for pound, has to be the loudest.
Yeah, like just in terms of like words per production.
Yeah, exactly. Per production is a good way to phrase it. Kawhi lets his play do all the talking. Doesn't say a thing. Patrick Beverly lets nothing but his mouth do the talking. It is the complete inverse.
Yes. It has to be Pat Bev. I've never. He honestly is one of the top 5 yappers in NBA history.
Oh yeah, just generational yapper. Like his mouth is one of the best NBA mouths you've ever seen in the way that he uses it on the court, off the court for entertainment, for play, to give himself an edge. Podcast, shit talking, mental edge, all that. Incredibly versatile mouth.
Crazy.
No one's ever gonna do it like him.
No,
Paul George. Someone real clutch. Someone who's really clutch and doesn't have a lot of aura.
Whose game is just the most unsmooth you could think of?
I was gonna say Chris Middleton, but he's smooth.
Chris Middleton is smooth. I need like a
jerky, clutch, not a lot of aura, but gets shit done.
See, but that's the thing. If you are herky jerky and clutch, you have aura.
Yeah. Oh, who's like fundamental aura? Because Manu Ginobili has aura, so it can't be him.
Yeah,
Who has fundamental aura? Drew Holiday.
Okay.
Nah. It's not the opposite of Paul George.
It's a weird.
Paul George is so well-rounded and balanced. It's hard to find the opposite of balanced.
This is really, really tough because I don't know. Because like Paul George kind of just like
Tony Parker
floats into his spots.
Doesn't feel right. Okay.
No, yeah. This is really hard. Who the complete opposite of Paul George is?
I guess you can't have an opposite of Paul George. He's too auraful.
I guess he's a 1-of-1.
Wow. Paul George, you've done it. You're perfectly balanced, as all things should be.
I'll come back next week. I'll think on it.
We'll think on this one. Next up, Magic Johnson.
Josh Giddey.
Elaborate.
Magic is 6'9", black, good passer. Josh Giddey is 6'9", white, and throws very bad, questionable passes.
Okay. I think so. Magic Johnson. I'm gonna stick star to star.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think of big passers or big like passers, but like aren't great passers.
So Magic Johnson, star player, charismatic as hell, just bleeds aura, gets it done in flashy ways. Who's the opposite of all those words? Tim
Jason
Duncan.
Tatum. Oh, okay. Okay.
Tim Duncan.
At an all-time level, got you.
Gets it done still. No aura. Always available. Never misses games for any reason. Tim Duncan.
You know what? I'm with that. We can do that.
Stays on the court. Next one.
Tim. That's why Tim.
Kobe Bryant. Who has no Mamba mentality? Who's the antithesis of Mamba mentality? Who could not have less Mamba mentality?
Simply in their approach. I think I just go back 2 slides. Is Russell Westbrook kind of Paul George's antithesis?
No.
Because he is much more herky-jerky.
Oh, yeah, he's not smooth. Okay, so Russell Westbrook is the opposite of smooth. Both still effective, but he is not smooth.
That's the only thing that...
Just muscle-bound.
Yeah, just straight force.
Oh, Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard is the opposite of Paul George.
That's good.
That's it. The opposite. They both get shit done. One is a fan favorite, smooth aura man. One is a walking bicep.
That is true. Okay, I like Dwight Howard.
Kobe Bryant, who has no Mamba mentality. My first thought... You go first. You go first, actually.
Just based off of work ethic and stories that I have read, James Harden.
No, James Harden doesn't have terrible work ethic. I thought you were going to say like Zion Williamson or something. Somebody who's like gotten flack in the media for not working too hard.
Oh, well, I'm just talking about like clubbing and not clubbing. That's it. You know, that's all. When I say work ethic, I just mean like James, like Kobe might go home and then go to practice. James Harden is gonna go to the club, then go home, then go to practice. Like that's
Kobe Bryant probably did not know the names of bottle girls. Don't ask James Harden how many he knows. He'll be there all night.
That's the only thing that I was basing it off of. Was
okay.
We'll
leave it there. We'll leave it there to not disrespect anybody else. Luka Doncic.
Kobe Bryant.
Listen, you asked Nico Harrison. There's a lot of opposites of Luka Doncic.
I know. Nico Harrison said Shaq is Luka's. It's like, yeah, man. Shaq just comes in, works every day. Dummy.
Who is the opposite of Luka Doncic? So I think Luka's main defining part is that it's like low effort. He doesn't got to come into the season in shape. He just wakes up, bleeds talent. It's natural to him. Who's the opposite? Jimmy Butler is the opposite. He has to work for every ounce of production he's ever gotten.
Yes.
The ultimate just grinder.
Jimmy Butler has never seen a workout he didn't like.
That man will bench press buildings if he can. Luka Doncic wakes up, rolls out of bed, behind the back pass.
He has every subscription. He goes to the team doctor, trains. He has P90X. he has Peloton. He does yoga. He does Pilates. He plays soccer. He be playing dominoes just to strengthen his mind. He does every workout possible.
I guarantee you he does not know what Overwatch is. He's never played it a single day in his life.
Games? Do you think life is a game to Jimmy Butler?
It's
not.
For what?
It's not a game. I came from nothing.
At all.
Come on. Streets of Tomball are tough.
All right, next thing we're going to do, let's do another blind tier list. Let's move over to hoopgoat.com, a site we've been frequenting as of late. They have this blind pyramid format that we really like. You know, it's a tier list. Top tier, you don't put one person, and 2 people in the next one, 3 people in the next one, 4 on, so on. I like these a lot. I don't know about you.
No, these are great.
Okay, so you guys know how it works. Let's fill out this blind pyramid. First name, we got Patty Mills. Where do we begin with this? I'm scared of what comes after this.
I feel like in every tier or in every tier list, Patty Mills can be right there in that yellow. He could be in tier 3.
Tier 3? It's Patty Mills. I feel like we got to go tier 4.
What if we're talking about shooting?
Oh, but I mean, do you want to do shooting or do you want to do how good the player is?
All right, we'll just go how good the player is. We'll go 4.
Okay, tier 4.
Patty, understand, I know who you are.
Next up, we got Klay Thompson. Okay, so I'm sensing these might all be elite shooters.
I told you we should have put Patty in the third row.
Nevertheless, I think Klay can. I mean, let's still do off how good the player is. Is Klay tier 2 or 2-3?
Tier 2.
What if there's like Larry Bird, Steph Curry, and Kevin Durant?
Well, that's where it's blind. Like I don't know.
I prefer tier 3, but I can be swayed to tier 2 if you're passionate about it.
If you want to hold out for stars, we can hold out for stars. And we will be conservative here. The next one, we might have to be aggressive.
Yeah, we got to start pulling the trigger pretty soon. Danny Green.
Oh, yeah. I told you, we're talking about shooters here.
All right, well, tier 4. He can't be next to Klay Thompson.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay. Kemba Walker.
Whoa.
Prime Kemba. He's an all-star. I thought we got to put him tier 3.
Go ahead. Go ahead. That kind of threw me off, though, because the other three guys are... What is happening here?
Yeah, I don't know what we're cooking. Jaylen
Are we
Brown.
just going off of... Okay, I guess we're going back. We're just going based on players. Jaylen Brown has to be in the same tier as Klay Thompson and Kemba Walker.
Yeah, I don't know what category we're here, but there you go. Kyle Korver. Hey, man, we better hope there's some superstars coming. We might be fucked.
We probably played ourselves. But,
Yeah.
but also, like, who's supposed to be at the top?
I don't know, but Kyle Korver, tier 4. Jalen Brunson. I am perfectly okay with Jalen Brunson being tier 2. I like that.
Please.
Brunson is currently better than Jaylen Brown ever has been. You can debate Klay Thompson.
Let's go.
Norm Powell. 4.
4.
I mean, yeah, we can't. If we get screwed in tier 2, we get screwed. We can't choose that with Norm Powell.
I'm sorry. We've been too conservative for too long. We're sticking to it.
Steph Curry. Okay.
1. We're
Tier
putting
1.
Steph Curry 1.
Last but not least, Kyrie Irving.
Oh, we did it.
Hey, we clutched the fuck up. This is a good tier list.
Wow.
Is this perfect? Is there anything you would change?
No, this is actually as good as it could get.
We killed it. Listen, halfway
Wow.
through, did I have faith in us? Did I believe in the mission? Did I believe in our vision coming to fruition? Did not. But nevertheless, we win.
They told us we couldn't have a perfect tier list. So we got a perfect
They
tier
said
list.
it can't be done. They said all you do is sell. They said you're bad at your job.
Understand, man.
What they gonna say now?
Winning isn't for everybody.
What they gonna say now?
What they gonna say? What they gonna say, man?
That's our best one we've had yet. Shout out Hoop Goat, man.
No, that actually really is good.
Next thing we're gonna do, trade deadline passed as of late. We're still reeling in some ways from the way it went down. And we talked earlier about the John Morant news or lack of news, but the idea of people floating around who the next star to be traded who that will be. I'm gonna name an NBA player. You let me know from 1 to 10 how likely it is they get traded in the next calendar year.
Okay.
So, what trades are looming?
we're going through the offseason. We're going through next trade deadline. On top of this. Okay.
Yeah, next year. First name, Kevin Durant.
We're going like a 7.
I feel like it's a 9. I feel like it's very likely. Honestly, if you look over the past 5 years, you're almost more likely to get a Kevin Durant trade than to not in any given year.
Yeah, is there the only thing that's keeping me away from it is like, I feel like Matt Ishbia would just want to keep Kevin Durant around.
You think he'll just refuse?
Yeah, you traded so much to get Kevin Durant that...
But they tried to trade him like 3 weeks ago.
I know, but like, what if
he said yes, he would be a Warrior today. I think this has to be. This might be a 10 out of 10. If he requests a trade this summer, how does it not happen? They're not going to have a good playoff run to convince him to stay.
All right, we'll go 9. I'll go 9.
Yeah, I guess you can't really go 10. So 9's cool with me.
Yeah, he didn't actively request a trade.
Yet.
True.
Trae Young.
Ooh, I'm projecting, but the trade request feels like it has to be on its way. So I'm gonna go 8 because they don't know what they're doing in Atlanta.
I'll go 6 only because I feel like he doesn't want to trade and I feel like they don't want to trade him. But pretty soon these paths are going to make it clear that both sides would be better off probably if they did trade each other. So
But the
I'll
next
go 6.
calendar year, like they probably won't go the offseason, but they might go into next year.
deadline?
Yeah, they might go into next year, still be the 9 seed. Trey's gonna be getting, into his actual prime and be looking around and it's like, yo, Clint Capella is still here. Like what? Like why we haven't made any
leave.
We haven't made any improvements. Please trade me.
There's no way for them to become a top 4 team next year. And I'm sure Trae Young knows that.
But the thing is, like,
Does he care?
Can he go to the West and do it? Because the West is stacked. So
Listen, Wemby got his running mate, so that's one less destination for him.
yeah, he might just like Atlanta.
Listen, him and Anthony Edwards will do wonders together in Minnesota.
Okay. Yeah, right.
Get ready
right
to speak
right
Julius Randle, Atlanta.
Right city.
You don't want to see him back in Atlanta?
Right city. No, no.
Dude, when you talk about the clip of him and Obama,
Oh, that was hilarious.
I watched that before I saw it on Twitter, and my jaw was on the floor.
He walked up, he's like, bro, what are you talking about? The truth. I was like,
I'm the
oh.
truth. As I was LeBron turning around horrified, knowing he left Anthony Edwards unmonitored with Obama. Okay, next name. Devin Booker. Now, this may not seem like someone who's probably going to get traded, but if Kevin Durant does request to trade next summer, I feel like it's almost a certainty Devin Booker's to follow, right? Why would you keep one and not the other?
Well, Devin Booker, it would have to.
Is he lifer?
It depends on Devin Booker, because I think if Devin Booker gets traded, it's because he is requesting a trade. I don't think the Suns would initiate those conversations.
So you think they'd want to build around like him, Bradley Beal, and Wiggins and do some transition route?
Probably, or they probably would be forced to do it, because I don't know if Bradley Beal is waiving his no trade clause. I don't know if Book is the kind of guy who is going to request a trade.
Yeah, and
I don't know if I see it.
And he doesn't have to, I guess, because it's not like he's like a top 5 player in the world and needs to build his legacy. Like, he can just be a Suns lifer, and that's okay. No one's gonna be like, why don't you have the courage to try to win? You know, like,
But
he can stay if he wants to.
yeah, but also he went through like the dark days of Phoenix.
He did.
Does he have it in him to do it again?
We'll see. I'll give this one a 5 out of 10, or maybe 4, but it's definitely not a 0.
I'll go 4.
Yeah, 4 is good. John Morant.
Listen, the fact that there are already conversations about it lets me feel like it is more likely to happen than not.
Yeah.
But
I mean, Zach Kleiman did say they're not doing it. Granted, he has to say that.
Pat Riley said that too, and then they traded him.
Correct. I do believe him right now. They don't want to, but I also believe if they fail in that first round, if they fail in that second round, easy to change your mind when the most recent thing you could think of is failure.
I'll say this. If we're doing it in the next calendar year, 0. But at the end of next offseason, or at the end of next season, that'll be the time. Because you will have this year. Because like John Morant isn't going to be a guy that gets traded at the deadline unless he requested, and like he's not going to do that.
Goddamn, Luka Doncic was. So who's to say?
That's fair. But you're going to go through this playoff run, and you are going to see how like your new core, especially now that Jaren Jackson has taken the leap, you have 2 legitimate like stars. You're going to run that back twice. And then if Ja Morant still can't hold up his end of the bargain or do whatever they want him to do in that system, a year and a half from now, out of there.
Yeah. So, okay. I like that. A year and a half is when it starts to get interesting. So 0 for now, but keep your eye open for next summer.
Yeah.
LaMelo Ball.
Oh, he's gone.
He's gone?
He's gone.
You're planting your flag that you think it's going to happen?
In the next calendar year, I'll go 9. I can't go 10 with anybody, but I will go 9.
That's crazy. The same as Kevin Durant. Tell me more.
I think that the Hornets, are always. There has never been a time in my life where the Hornets have been a great franchise. And
True.
LaMelo Ball is the only thing that they have going for them, but they also have no direction. They have no idea what it is that they want to do. You just got a new coach. Let's see what you got. If they mess around and get like a Cooper Flagg or one of these top 3 prospects, hit the reset button again. LaMelo, get out of here, and we're going to start fresh.
Yeah, it seems like this front office, once they get rid of the pass guard, everybody they brought in, LaMelo Ball, you were part of that. If the team is 5 years away, then you don't have 5 years to waste. You're ready to win. You don't want to sit around and wait forever. So it makes sense to me.
Get ready to speak Sacramento.
Oh, that's where you want to see him go? Fuck.
I just said a city.
Oh, where should he go? Get ready to speak Toronto. You and Scotty Barnes are going to run the league. Can't even say it with a straight face.
It's not because it's not going to happen. Get ready to speak poutine, brother.
I can't. Zion Williamson.
Ooh, where would Zion go? I think. Okay, I'll go 8.
8. This is weird because I feel
Actually,
like
no.
this.
Actually, no.
I'm gonna go
5.
0. I'm gonna go 0 if they get the number 2 pick or below. I'll go 10 if they get Cooper Flag.
Okay.
If you can replace him 1-for-1 with Cooper Flag and move into a new chapter with Cooper Flag, Trey Murphy, CJ McCollum, DeJounte, and whatever you can get for Zion, that's a good way to kind of reset the era.
Actually, okay, I will go 0 for now because I forgot that DeJounte ruptured his Achilles. Like that's
He did.
crazy.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. That's an awful injury. So you really have like nothing. I think that the fact that you got like CJ McCollum is aging, and so he's just there, being a good vet, doing what he does. But this is really like about Trey Murphy and Zion. And now that you have Kelly Olynyk, you have stretch 5.
Yeah.
You can kind of open it up a little bit, see what you can get with Zion.
Yeah.
So I think
if
they'll give him another chance.
If you draft a Dylan Harper or whatever, someone that fits with Zion, great. Harper, Herb, Trey, Zion, I can work with that. But if you have the opportunity to start all 3 of Herb Jones, Trey Murphy, and Cooper Flag, that's an experience I'd like to take, and I'd be willing to move Zion Williamson for it.
Lockdown defense.
Crazy. It'd be ridiculous. That would be beautiful. And like I don't know where Zion would go, but like some team would want him, and you get a good amount of stuff for him now, even if it's not what it seemed like a few years ago with the lack of consistent health. But I think you can still get a haul.
Where would you send him?
A lot of places. I mean, someone like the Bulls, let him go there and just like be
Bulls
a team.
can take anybody. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, actually, I don't want to forsake him to the Bulls. I want him to go to a good organization that can support him. I know Spurs fans don't want to hear this. I would love to see him and Wemby together, obviously.
No.
Probably not their speed.
No.
Would you want to see him with Anthony Edwards? They need somebody. They don't have the star power anymore. Actually, no, they're not going to. The whole point of getting rid of Cat was for flexibility and pay the role players, so they don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Atlanta?
Listen, that's why I was thinking. I think if you're gonna take a swing at anybody, you would pair these 2 guys. You would pair Trey and Zion and have one of the best lob throwers in the league and one of the best lob targets, and you would just rock out like that.
That'd be cool. I think I'd like that.
If Atlanta traded for Zion, does Jalen Johnson absolutely have to be in the deal?
No. Oh, it depends how. If Zion gets hurt again, no. Jalen Johnson doesn't have to be in the deal.
Okay.
If Zion has a stellar year and like finishes the year going berserk, maybe.
Okay. But
if
right now?
Hey, hold on.
What happened?
What if the Ja Morant stuff comes to fruition and they trade the 1 and number 2 pick for each other? It's a Ja for Zion swap, and we get Ja Morant, Herb Jones, Trey Murphy, Cooper Flag, and then you get Zion Williamson next to Jaren Jackson in Memphis.
Could that work?
I don't see why not.
All right, let's try it. We'll run that through 2K. We'll see what's going on with it.
That'd be kind of cool.
Wow.
I like that for Ja a lot. Ja next to those 2 wings and potentially Cooper Flag. That would be really cool. Now, granted, we're doing a lot of assumption that they get fucking Cooper Flag.
So much assumption.
That's the point of this. We're just talking nonsense.
Just yapping.
Yeah, that's what we do. All right. Giannis. Now, I know you probably think, what the hell are you talking about? Giannis isn't getting traded. They traded Chris Middleton for Kyle Kuzma.
They traded
flame
Luka.
out again. That too. If they flame out again and you have already shipped out his longtime running mate for Kyle fucking Kuzma, I don't know. You're really testing his loyalty.
You are, and I think that don't get fooled. Don't get fooled by Giannis saying all this, small market, small town stuff. He has put pressure on this team time after time after time, and he will do it again. If they go out, like you said, if they go out in the first round, I think it's a 6. I'll go 7. If they lose in the first round, I'll go 7. If they get to like the Eastern Conference Finals, I'll go probably a 2.
Yeah, I think right now it's like a 2, but I think, one trigger event, we can quickly see this jump up and people will pretend it's surprising and it will not be.
If they lose to, who's the 5 seed right now out in the East?
Who's the 5 seed?
Who's the 5 seed? Right now, their matchup would be Indiana. If they lost to the Pacers, yeah.
Good Lord.
Oh, yeah. Again? Oh, yeah.
Cat for Giannis, straight up. The money works.
Listen, hit my line. We could talk. We can have conversations.
Last name, Domantas Sabonis.
Zero.
You see a world in which the Kings blow it up.
0. He's a king for life. He's a king.
I think I would like that for him. Just go there and be their all-star and just be consistent. Have a home in Sacramento. We don't care if they have to rebuild. You got to be part of it. You don't have championship or bust expectations. Just go be a guy for the Kings. That'd be dope.
Yeah. It's also super, super hard to bring in Sabonis and maximize him because he has to have the ball in his hands a lot. So if you're bringing him in, your whole team changes. It's very hard to like plug and play Domantas. So I would say, listen, stay in Sacramento, right? It's looking kind of up right now. Maybe you guys get a good draft pick. Maybe you guys make one good trade. You guys can get back to the 5 seed, start lighting the beam again. It's going to be good.
Yeah, you're right. I was thinking maybe I had some trade destinations in mind, but no, fuck that. Sacramento King for life.
Exactly. I like that.
Next thing we're going to do, let's play a little game. I'm going to name an NBA player, and we're going to take turns listing a player that they played with, a former teammate, until one of us messes up. So we're going to link players together. So for instance, if I say Kobe Bryant, you say Shaq. I say Dwayne Wade, etc. Until one of us freezes up.
Okay.
So I'll go first. We'll keep it simple. LeBron James. I'm already freezing up.
Me too. Kyrie.
Jason Tatum.
Jaylen Brown.
Marcus Smart.
John Morant.
Santi Aldama.
Jared Jackson Jr.
Zach Edey.
Desmond Bain.
G.G. Jackson. Just go up and down the roster.
I know. Vince Williams.
What'd you say?
Vince Williams.
Steven Adams.
Amen Thompson.
Sengun.
Jalen Green.
Jalen Green.
Yeah, we're just going on rosters.
Aaron Holiday.
Jeff Green.
Can I say LeBron again? Can I go twice?
No,
or isn't that allowed?
I don't think so.
Kevin Durant.
Devin Booker.
Chris Paul.
James Harden.
Kendrick Perkins.
Serge Ibaka.
Abdel Nader.
Oh wow, that's a point. You got me. But I'm assuming he was on that Thunder team.
Let me make sure I'm allowed to say that because you said Serge Ibaka. Let me make sure they played together.
Was he on the? What year was he?
Oh wait, 2019. I think I might have cheated. I think Serge Ibaka was gone by then, wasn't he?
I won.
2019. Oh, I lost. He was already in Toronto by then. I cheated.
I won.
You won by technicality, goddamn.
Yeah. It's my favorite way to win, by technicality.
Damn it, man. I thought I pulled one out of my ass. Thought it was going to be perfect.
No, sir.
Okay. Last thing we're going to do. I'm going to name an NBA award. You let me know who would win it if the season ended today.
Okay.
First off, most entertaining player of the year.
Ooh. I'm going Shea.
That's a good pick. He's definitely
Actually, I'm taking that back. I'm taking that back. I'm actually going Jokic.
Why is Jokic more entertaining?
Because Jokic has done all of the normal Jokic stuff, all the normal, crazy passes, all that stuff, but then also been like, hey, go out and get us 40. He's like, okay, like I will. So
the fact that Jokic is casually just as good at everything else as he was last year, and now he shoots 45% from three, like it's ridiculous. Like there's no holes.
Yeah, I think I'll go Jokic 1, Shea 2, and we will go Wemby 3.
That's a good list. Okay. Least entertaining player of the year.
Kyle Kuzma.
Okay. I was going to say Yusuf Nurkic. I think Yusuf Nurkic this year has stood for everything I hate in the NBA. I think everything I want to see from a model player in the league, he stands opposed to.
Can I give a co-MVP type of situation?
To who? Kuzma?
No, to the Chicago Bulls as a collective.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll get to some stuff that maybe they're allowed to be in. But honestly, Kyle Kuzma and Yusuf Nurkic are good options there for least entertaining players in the league. Who else deserves a shout there?
Nah, let's
Tyus Jones. The whole Suns roster.
Yeah, we're gonna be mean.
All right, we'll leave it there then. Let's limit the meanness. Best new star of the year. Kind of like best new artist at the Grammys.
Best new star. Who has really
Cade
come out
Cunningham.
on- He deserves. Okay, yeah. If we're going like first time All Stars as well, okay.
Yeah, someone who made the leap this year and has really been the best storyline of somebody who made the leap this year.
Okay, we got Cade makes sense. You kind of have to go with Cade, especially because you've been waiting for it for so long, and
he's living up to what we wanted to see since he's
finally
a rookie.
here. Mm-hmm.
Bro, I was on Project 94. We were listing the top 5 point guards in the league, and I was like, oh my God, is Cade the 5th best point guard in the league now? Like that's the conversations he's in. Like it's like him versus Trey Young versus John Morant. Like he's playing at that level. And last year we might have said he's like 17th or something.
Shout out to Cade Cunningham.
Shout out Cade, man. Round of applause for Cade Cunningham.
Yo, we got to get on Drink Champs. Like I don't know. I'm like 10,000% sure that Noriega has no idea who we are. But please bring us on.
I haven't heard anybody say his full name like that in fucking a decade.
Please,
but okay, yeah. Cade's best new star. I like that. Most improved reputation. So somebody whose PR really recovered this year.
Easily, hands down, Karl Anthony Towns.
It has to be. Last year, dude, Timberwolves cat reputation was in the gutter. They were like, you are Canadian. Is he Canadian? No, he's not. Where's he from again? I almost said Canadian. Why did I think that?
He's Dominican.
They said, you are Frank Kaminsky with a jumper. And now it's like, is he a top 3 offensive big of all time?
Yeah, he has gotten that push. So the Knicks had 2 All-Star starters.
That's crazy.
Right? Understand that. Like Karl Anthony Towns has been the guy that like, yes, he was playing better, but Anthony Edwards was yelling at him in the playoffs to be like, bro, stop fouling. And now he's just the lovable guy in New York. So I'm going Cat for sure.
Shout out Cat, man. If you want to make your PR better, find a way to play in New York. You will be loved. Mm-hmm. We will look at your strengths and admire them and look at your weaknesses and say, I simply do not see.
That is true. That is true.
So it's like it's quintessential New York.
No more.
It's quintessential New York. We're going to highlight the parts we like and ignore the parts we don't.
You got it. You got it.
Okay. Best roster move of the year. Like best acquisition.
Okay, so we can go. Well, it's very easy. It's
Is it?
Luka Doncic to the Lakers.
Oh, obviously. I'm ignoring the greatest trade of all time here, as obviously they get the cap for just the best way to revolutionize a franchise of all time.
They got it.
Outside of Luka, who would it be?
They got it.
Maybe something that happened like last summer that's really impacted this year.
I think Hartenstein to the Thunder is really good.
Low key. Kenny Atkinson, if that counts as a roster move.
If we're counting coaches.
Yeah. It made the Cavs go from, oh, fuck, they got to blow it up to, oh, so this team could beat the Celtics, potentially. Like, that's a big change.
Low key, Russell Westbrook to the Nuggets.
That's up there. In terms of cost and reward.
Yeah, like cost and value to that specific team.
That's up there.
I think Russ could be there.
He's kind of been for them what people wanted Chris Paul to be for the Spurs. Not to say Chris Paul hasn't been good for them, but like the low cost point guard that's going to come in and provide veteran savvy and help you in different ways.
Yeah.
That's kind of what Russ did in that stretch of the season where they really needed some energy.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That may be like top, like Kenny Atkinson, Hartenstein, and what we just said, which I cannot remember.
Luka.
Yeah.
Okay. Most intimidating player of the year. Someone who walks into your team's doors and you just get scared.
Ooh, this is a good. Who do you get like scared of?
I mean, I'm a Lakers fan, so Nikola Jokic is obviously number one on this list as far as playoffs go, and he's been amazing this year too.
Jokic has gotten so good. Yeah, Jokic has gotten so good to the point where it's not even intimidating because you just know, even if you do a good job, you're going to look up and he's going to have 25,
Yeah.
11, and 12. So, like, it doesn't even matter.
You're not like scared I'm going to get my ass whooped. Like the beatdown is a certainty. So at a certain point, it removes the pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Shea has been a fucking force of nature this year. So I think Shea is also obviously intimidating.
Most intimidating. All right, we can go Shea.
Well, even if it's like, I guess for intimidating, we should look past just how
Just
good
scoring?
they've been, right? Like what makes intimidation factor?
Do you think, oh, well,
There hasn't been a lot of like intimidating storylines this year.
if you look at the Terror Twins, you look at Amen Thompson and Tari Eason,
That's
like,
pretty intimidating.
I can see a situation where somebody steps onto the court and sees them too, and it's like, oh my God.
Oh,
here
you know
we go.
what? Never mind. Instead of giving it to Shea, let's give it to the Thunder defense as a whole. Every player we've talked to as of late has talked about those motherfuckers' defense is different. They have like 9 good defenders. That has been by far the most intimidating unit in the league.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Bro, they got Caruso and didn't give up a pick.
He's like their 5th best defender this year because he hasn't been that available. They have 4 other guys more important defensively. Dude, Lou Dort, J-Dub, Kaysen Wallace, Caruso, Shea. What? And then you have a DPOY level defender behind them? What? And then you have Hardenstein, who's also good? What? It's crazy.
It's not fair.
It's not fair at all.
It's not fair.
Okay. Least interesting team in the league.
Okay, so
There's
have
some uninteresting
options.
ass teams. There's some
We have
uninteresting teams, so choose carefully.
options. Okay, if you give me this category and we're at the award show, it would be like, and the nominees for it would be Chicago Bulls,
Incorrect.
Utah Jazz.
Correct. That is the answer. It is the Utah Jazz very easily.
Yes.
No defining young players on the team. No old
Who else
players
would
that
be
might get
nominated?
traded and be interesting. No storylines. No interesting young core. Nothing of note. At least for the Bulls, we can say, hey, they got traded Zach LaVine, and they did. There is no reason to think about the Utah Jazz unless you're an NBA sicko like us.
Who else? Who would round out that
That top
nominee? Yeah.
3. Man. Who deserves... I mean, I find the Suns pretty uninteresting. The Brooklyn Nets. Their
we go.
half-ass tank job. That is so uninteresting.
There we go.
They got their picks back. I'm fully committed to doing no path at all. Just being right in the middle.
Bulls, Jazz, Nets. Okay,
Yeah. But I think the Jazz are by far the answer there. Like, they stand out from the other two to me.
that's fair.
The Jazz have... And like, Larry Markin isn't even going crazy. Like, they have nothing of note. Okay, last but not least, the not good, but very fun to watch award. So, player who's not amazing, but their funness level is through the roof. Cam Thomas is up there.
Okay. Oh, for a specific player. Okay,
Yeah,
got you.
Cam Thomas is up there.
Cam
But Cam Thomas is good. He's just not amazing. So maybe he doesn't deserve it. He's too good for this. But then again, we're not going to say players who are ass. So let's rephrase it. The kind of good, but amazingly fun to watch.
Yes. Okay. I always forget. I need to go through the roster, see some guys here.
Yeah, I got the teams pulled up.
Yeah. This is interesting.
It's hard for me to. I had to like really think because I don't. Really,
It's a
I never
very
care about the players
like
like this.
weird line. Yeah, it's a very weird line. And like one of the guys that I would have said has gone actually like into that level. Like Norm Powell has gone into that like, oh no, like he's legitimately good.
Jordan Poole. I do think he's good actually, but his team is so garbage that nobody's thinking about him.
On Jordan Poole.
Yeah, people treat him like he's ass, and he had a bad year last year, but he's been really good this year.
Somebody on the depending on the night, somebody on the Blazers. You have
I love Donovan Clingan.
Yeah, you have a lot of guys where on any night, and especially recently as the Blazers have gone up, you can be like, oh, he's really playing well tonight. Oh, he's really good. He's really good. So shout out to Portland because they looked hopeless.
Yeah, what a bounce
For a
back
long
midseason.
time. Good job.
But all right, that's all the awards I got today, and that's all the topics we got today. I hope you guys enjoyed the interviews we saw in the beginning of the show. Hope you guys enjoyed the news breakdown. Hope you guys enjoyed TikTok time. Very special episode today. It's real good to get more interviews out for you guys. Hopefully more to come. Yeah, man. Stay tuned for another special episode next week.
Thank y'all for taking on this ride with me. You know what? Here go 2 more for y'all.